Anyway, I'm excited for this. So this is another Telltale game. I've never played it before, first playthrough. Exciting. Fresh reactions. I don't really know anything about this game, except it's a Telltale game, so it's got the episodic structure, I'm assuming, choices, blah blah blah. Apparently, this is based on a DC comic book series of the same name, The Wolf Among Us. And it's about like fairy tale characters, and has kind of a satirical tone, and that's all I know about it. I've also duly been warned that there is nudity at some point, that may put us in hot water with Twitch's terms of service, but hopefully not. Hold on, I'm just refreshing my stream manager for a second. Hello, welcome Lost and Fairy, welcome Baku Watch, and welcome Jay Them Born. This is such a blast from the past. Have people played The Wolf Among Us before? Let me know in the chats. I've never played it before, so I'm pretty excited to see what it's all about. Let's open the video game menu. How's everyone doing on this fine Monday? Yeah, from DC Entertainment, so it's based on a comic book series. Oh, my mistake. So thank you, Jay Thunborn. So the comic book series that this is based on is called Fables, not The Wolf Among Us. That's my mistake. Thank you for correcting me. I remember watching my stepdad play it when I was a kid. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm in the dark here, so I'm excited to see more. Also, sorry, I just realized that some of you might be getting whiplash from the fact that I have red hair now. So, welcome, introducing Sara in their red hair lesbian era. That's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. So before we get into it, a reminder as usual that we're still fundraising for medical aid for Palestinians, as always. So for anyone who's new to the channel or the stream, just a quick reminder, our fundraising bar is at the top of the screen. You can see, if you can see the screen, then you will see that our bar is currently at £1,765.87, and our current fundraising goal is £2,000. So we're just under £250 away from that goal. And if you are wanting to donate, if you can afford to donate, we really appreciate it. You can do that by typing in the command !Palestine in the chat, and that will bring up the link to our fundraiser. Every little helps. We really appreciate it. If you do donate, please let me know in the chat, because I can only hear the game. My headphones are only connected to my monitor that's hooked up to my PlayStation, so I can't hear the little donation bing, but I really want to thank you if you donate, just to show my gratitude for your generosity. If you're like, what's this about? Why are we raising money for Palestine? I mean, I should hope that a lot of people should know by now why we're raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. But if you type in the command !BDS in the chat, then you'll bring up two links. The first is to the Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions website, and the second is to the Decolonize Palestine website. And we've included these because Decolonize Palestine is a really wonderful Palestinian-led educational resource where you can learn more about the Palestinian struggle and Palestinian history, as well as how to debunk common Zionist talking points which penetrate kind of the mainstream media. And the Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions movement is a movement founded by Palestinian civil society calling for the international community to boycott Israeli goods, divest from Israeli institutions, and sanction the Israeli government in order to pressure it to comply with international law, and to end its military occupation of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, as well as to ensure equal rights for Palestinians living across the land of historic Palestine, and to allow refugees the right to return to their homelands. So really important movement, and if you're wondering, I know that these are dark times, and sometimes we feel pretty hopeless. If you're wondering what you can do, then the BDS website is a really great place to start, and I'm always here to answer more questions and talk about that, because it's my jam, and if I do say so myself, I'm quite knowledgeable on the issue. So yes, that's the down low on the fundraiser. Every little helps, if you're able to donate. I played The Wolf Among Us a couple of years ago when I played through all of Telltale's games during lockdown. Nice one, Bucket Watch. I'm kind of trying to get through all of Telltale's games at the moment. Off stream, I've played the Telltale Batman series. I'm gonna come back to that potentially in a video essay, because I found the first season a bit boring, and then in the second season I was like, also kind of boring, but like the first season does some it adds some potentially interesting stuff around kind of like madness and the construction of madness, and also the institutionalization of mentally distressed people. But then also the second season becomes really compelling when it comes to the Batman Joker relationship, but particularly how it's like playing around with this idea of like criminal insanity, inverted commas, because that's like it's a whole conversation. I'm not gonna get into it now, but if you want to petition me for a video essay on that topic, then I will happily oblige, because I think there's some really interesting stuff in there actually. And I also off stream played the Game of Thrones Telltale game, which is pretty good. I'm pretty into A Song of Ice and Fire. Some people know this about me. And it's a solid game. There were moments where I was like genuinely like stressing out, because I think that the Telltale model works really well for the Song of Ice and Fire franchise, because of how it's like these little decisions that you make can have like catastrophic violent consequences, and characters can and will like die or have horrific things happen to them based on some of your decisions in that game. It's pretty solid. Yeah, I had to get it on physical edition because it's really difficult to find, but I'm trying to get more games on physical edition anyway. Hi, Cause. I love this game. My first Telltale game. Ooh, okay. I love the 1980s neon noir aesthetic so much. Went right out and read the entire Fable series. Awesome. I know this is like one you really enjoy, so I'm very excited to check it out. And hi, Charlotte. Welcome. Thank you so much for resubscribing. You're currently on a 21-month streak. It's pretty impressive. I'm doing maths in my head right now. That's a lot of months. That's 1 year and 9 months. That's a lot of months. Thank you so much. All right. Ooh. Okay. The lighting is really doing things right now that I'm enjoying. Settings. What do we got? I think this is just kind of gonna be classic Telltale stuff, so that's fine. I would love subtitles though. Display subtitles on, please. No extra settings, which is a shame, but we'll make do. Yes, please apply my changes. And gameplay. Yeah, that's fine. Hi, Evelyn. Hey, thank you so much for resubscribing at Tier 1. 39 months is such a long time. We really, really appreciate it. I can't hear without my subtitles. So true. Okay, let's have a little sippy, and I'll catch up with chat, and then we'll get into the game. Saw Dragon Age on your PS home. How is it? I'm not that far at all into Dragon Age the Veilguard, but I'm liking it so far. It does some stuff which, I guess, and I know I'm not the only one who has this opinion. I would say that I'm a huge Dragon Age fan, by the way, so I've played all the Dragon Age games like multiple times, and I have like the books, and I'm kind of insane about Dragon Age. I would say that Inquisition, which was the previous title, is my least favorite, and Origins and 2 I love. I love. And I think that the Veilguard kind of goes back to some of the things that people really love about the first couple of Dragon Age games, and it moves away from some of the stuff that I didn't like as much about Inquisition that often puts me off replaying it. Because I replay Origins and 2 like loads, and I'm thinking I'll play them on stream at some point. But Veilguard I'm enjoying so far. I'm excited to play more. I just haven't had tons of free time recently. So, yeah. But also in my very long fucking list of video essays that I might do at some point is a video essay on Dragon Age, because I think the like world building and politics of the Dragon Age universe are just super juicy. Have fun cooking, Evelyn. Oh my god, wicked talk. Okay, I haven't seen the movie yet. I might at some point. But I'm glad that you had fun, Charlotte. Okay, here we go. This game series adapts to the choices you make. The story is tailored by how you play. Once upon a time in New York City, there lived a community of fairy tale characters known as Fabletown. The Fables who lived there arrived hundreds of years ago after they were exiled from their homeland. Ooh. Through the use of a magic spell called Glamour, they have protected their secret community from the mundane world. Sheriff Bigby Wolf protects them from each other. Oh, am I a cop? I don't want to be a cop.
105 today again if you missed it. A record for the date. Hottest ever in June. 103 now. That humidity looks low, but remember, the hotter the air is, the more moisture it can hold. So 103 with 31% humidity is a lot more humid.
Where are my subtitles?
73 with 31% humidity. And it is muggy out there.
Okay, the lighting is gorgeous. This is... the colors, the lights... that's giving. Even if I am playing as a cop. The Wolf Amogus. The wolf is indeed Amogus. The aesthetics of this game are top drawer, seriously. Yeah, I mean, we're like 2 seconds in, but I'm agreeing with you. Amogus. Tenement building. Sometime after midnight. Tons 251 Barretto Street. I didn't read the bottom. Oh, hello.
Mr. Toad.
Shit. Bigby! Listen, mate. I know.
Oh,
I
listen,
don't look
mate.
human. It's a problem. I get it. I just stepped out the apartment for just a second to see what kind of damage this drunk shit is doing. Just cut me a break, yeah? I'll get me glamour first thing in the morning.
Oh, classic.
Cross
Fucking
my
classic.
No need to kick up a fuss.
No harm done.
Look, no harm done. I'll give you a pass, but listen. If you can't afford to look human, you're going to the
What?
It's as simple as
What?
You can't send me up to live with those
Okay,
animals.
what's going on? It's already, there's a lot already
You know what
to
I
think
mean.
about.
Go see a witch. Get a glamour.
Bigby, they're bleeding me dry, mate. The quality of the spell goes down, but the rates keep climbing up. Do you have any idea how much it costs to have an entire family in glamour?
Oh, you don't understand, sir. It's an oppressive system. I don't want to say any of these things. What the fuck?
It's not even really worth dwelling on at this point. You're telling me to get it
I
together.
don't want to, bro. It sounds like a...
Whatever it costs, it's worth it. You don't want me catching you out of glamour again.
The fuck? So, sorry,
hell. See?
fucking hell
This is what I
indeed,
called you
Toad.
about, Sheriff. You're just gonna stand there, do something big.
Sorry, we're like 2 seconds into the game and it's already like this an oppressive system which is like charging people who don't look like humans to have some kind of cosmetic, well, not cosmetic surgery, but cosmetic magic procedure in order to pass as humans. So there's already a lot going on.
Before he completely tears up the place.
What do you want me to do?
What exactly do you want me to do?
I want you to throw the fucking woodsman out of here. Drunk shit. He's been going on like that for hours. Turn this place to dust if you let him. He's in a fucking rage. This is the last straw, Big B. He has to go.
Why is he so pissed?
So what set him off?
Who knows why it was this time. Man's got a hair trigger. I avoid him as much as possible.
When did he start drinking?
Not sure he ever stopped.
Fuck you!
I didn't know anyone else was up there.
New Book of Fables entry unlocked.
Furry prick goes shite. Tell me how to spend.
No, honestly, I'm on your side, Mr. Toad.
The lights are shaking
Fuck the
again.
What did I
police.
say? You want a big bad wolf to take you away?
No.
Oh, baby frog.
Then get the fuck back inside.
Mr. Toad reminds me of my dad, minus the accent. Oh, you mean your dad don't sound like this? Hello, governor.
I fucking am, you hear me? Hey, look at me.
Also, yes, Charlotte, potentially this game is a mystery. I don't really know anything about it. We are a detective, which, like, boo, fuck the police, but
Take a good look. Know who I am?
I also
now?
don't love that. I mean, it's consistent if I'm playing as a cop, but, like, it was, like, my only option is to, like, pressure Mr. Toad into, like, paying money for mandatory fucking cosmetic magical procedures in order to, like, exist in society or some shit. I'm gonna knock first because I'm not, like, a huge cunt. I'm trying not to be a huge cunt anyway, but when you're playing as a cop, you know, kind of comes with the territory. Steve Bloom as Bigby.
Damn you.
Oh,
Know who I am
Whoa, whoa,
now,
whoa,
don't
hey,
you?
hey!
You've got something on your face.
Fuck are you talking about, you stupid?
yeah, he deserves that.
I'll fucking kill you. You fucker.
All right, what's going on?
Ooh, okay.
What are you gonna fucking do, huh?
I'm gonna beat you up.
Get the fuck out of the way before you get the axe again.
Woody, I'm gonna break your fucking face.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
He's going to remember that.
You got a shit fucking memory, Wolf. That's not how it went last time.
This isn't last time.
Oh, quick time events. Love a bit of Telltale gameplay.
Had enough?
Okay, maybe I should have gone more violent.
It's a fucking challenge.
Yeah, okay, fine. If you want me to smash your head in, then I can smash your head in. Classic Telltale use left and right trigger to beat the shit out of someone game mechanic. Okay, it's the sink this time, buddy. That's gonna... Never mind, I thought that was gonna be more severe, and now I've armed him. Okay. Oh, shit. Cut! There we go, okay, alright. There we go.
Fucking glutton for punishment.
Fuck you.
This, I'm assuming, is the woodsman from Red Riding Hood.
Back off, asshole.
I don't know who the woman is. Oh shit. Nice axe though. Seems like a jerk, but he's got a nice axe. Oh, I thought I was gonna go in with the blade there. I was like, whoa, that got intense real quick. That's the fun of this game, seeing all the fairy tales, but in 1980s New York. If I saw a talking frog, I'd want to be friends. Yeah, exactly. I don't really understand why they're, like, oppressing the animals into... Anyway, okay, we're gonna get animal liberation discourse. I can see.
probably get
I can
out of
see
here.
that now.
Look, I'm not leaving until I get what's mine.
You're not getting shit, bitch.
New York!
Fucking put you on the ground. You hear me?
Say that word one more time.
What? Bitch?
What did I say?
You fucking... Oh, fucking shit. You bugged my jaw, you bastard.
And still you talk.
Fuck you.
I'm a nice guy. I save damsels in distress.
What the hell is going on? What happened?
A little misunderstanding that turned into a real shit show. Don't worry, you saw the best bits.
There's more where that came from, girly.
Knock it off!
Look, this is just the start of a shitty night for me. I just need the money he owes me, then I can go.
Are you alright?
I'm hunky-dory. Thanks for asking.
Her voice is familiar to me.
Seriously, I need to know if you're okay.
He asked me if I recognized him, knew who he was. I said I didn't. He started beating on me. Then you showed up, started beating on him. That about cover it, hun?
I'm the woodsman, you whore.
Hey.
I saved Little Red Riding Hood from this monster. I cut this fucker open and filled his belly full of stones and threw him in the fucking river. That's who the fuck I am, you stupid bitch!
Hey, what did I say? I said be nice, or you wait out.
Yeah, I know that Telltale used the same actors for everything. For example, I know that Melissa Hutchinson, who voices Clementine, is in this. But who exactly is she? I think she might be the person who voices Selena Kyle in the Telltale Batman series, because she's got that like sultry voice going on.
Hey, Toad.
But I don't know the actor's name.
Oh,
Yeah. Give me a second.
Yeah, look at him. He's
no,
friend-shaped.
by all means, take your time. Make yourself comfortable.
Sorry about the car.
Did you anything? Pillow, perhaps?
Sorry about the car. We ended up going out the window. Couldn't be avoided.
I can't be mad at you.
Laura Bailey,
Cool.
that's the one. Thank
You
you.
come to help. I can't be mad. But even when you help, things end up more fucked than they started. Well, at least you're not fucking dead.
What will it take to kill you? So the question is, what fairy tale character am I? 'Cause there's a few wolves in fairy tales.
I'll put you out of your misery. You fucking mongrel.
Ah!
Fuck. Come on out, Wolf.
Oh, okay. I'm turning. Oh, nice. Thanks for that. I was about to go Super Saiyan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, the bruises on her
Don't
arms
mention
are nasty.
I'm just getting what he owes me. You alright back there? I mean, your eyes and the teeth. You're not really supposed to do that, are you?
Not if I can avoid it.
Great.
Interesting.
The guy's got an axe in his brain. He's not feeling that.
It's more from me. He'll be fine.
I'll kill you, you fucking bitch.
Let me help you.
How is he? Just now let her.
Guy's having a bad day.
That makes two
Not
of
even
us.
a. It's not even a choice.
I guess it's a good thing fables are hard to kill.
Suppose it is.
One of the interesting things about the Game of Thrones Telltale game was that, you know how like The Wolf Among Us, Batman, The Walking Dead, they all have a comic book aesthetic because they're all based on comic books. The Game of Thrones ones had like a completely different art style. It was like painterly, which was cool.
Here.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm not rooting for any heterosexual romance between these two. That's weird vibes, and I'm stating for the
Who
record
do you work for,
that
really?
I don't want it to happen.
These lips are sealed. Sorry. Hey, you like my ribbon?
Yeah, it's cute.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
She'll remember that.
I feel like we've met before.
We probably have. We all sort of knew each other at one point or another. But things change, I guess.
I guess.
Interesting.
Shit.
So there's something about like them having different
Stop.
lives.
We don't have
that,
to make any more of a thing out of it than it already
that they
is.
potentially don't remember.
Are you sure?
He's had enough. For tonight, at least. Wouldn't be surprised if he has an axe to grind, though. That wasn't intentional.
Look at the lost cat.
Sorry.
Poor Pixel. Mr. Toad's license plate is totally. Oh my god, I missed that.
100.
I'm guessing it'd be bad for you to show up empty-handed.
I'll be fine.
Let's see, I've got, it's 20, 40, 7, 8, 58. It's all I got. It'll help, right? Take it.
It's okay. I'll be fine. You've done enough, really.
Just take the money, okay?
You got me out of a bad situation back there. Thanks.
I'm still gonna need a statement.
Ugh.
I have to go drop what I have.
Meet me back at my office then.
POV.
It's a little late for an office visit, Sheriff. I'll swing by your apartment.
How do you know where I...
You live in the smallest apartment in the woodlands. Everyone knows that.
POV, you're trying to be like a halfway decent person to a woman, but then you have to be a
I don't
man
use
and a
that term
cop
lightly.
because that's the character you're
Some of those
playing.
look pretty bad. That's gonna leave a mark.
Okay, don't.
Or maybe not.
Stop. I'm not in the mood for heterosexuality. I mean, when am I ever, but...
I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You're not as bad as everyone says you are. I'll see you around, Wolf.
I got my eye on you. heterosexuals. Pixel is probably a reference to the White Cat fairy tale. Ah, that makes sense. It makes sense it being a reference to a fairy tale, but which fairy tale is that exactly? I'm not sure which one the White Cat one is. I feel the need to qualify that to me, it's just bad vibes in general. Let me know how audio levels are, by the way. It's just bad vibes in general to me when you have that whole setup, which you get a lot in media, right, where like a woman is like you know, in some kind of situation, and often it's like she's like a sex worker or something, and then like some guy, you know, some guy is like hurting her, and then the good guy, even though he's kind of rough around the edges, like comes in and saves her, and then they have a romance. That's like, that to me is the worst, and I hate it. That's got to be one of my least favorite tropes in media. I really hate that one. So yeah. Literally me anytime something straight starts to happen. The Woodland Luxury Apartments in Fabletown. Ooh, hello, caramel popcorn enthusiast. Ooh, caramel popcorn. It is pretty tasty. I'm kind of a savory popcorn girly myself, but do you guys have personal accounts where you post "I love your content and would love to see more"? Oh, that's very kind of you. Yeah, so our accounts for Game Assist are at Game Assist YT, which is the same as us on Twitch, so you can find us as a collective on everything, on all like social media with that handle. Me personally, I am at Unethical Coffee on socials. I'm mainly using Blue Sky at the moment, and then I also use Instagram a bit, and I'll put that in the chat for you now. Straight brother is right. People look at me like I'm crazy when I say this. Your trope talk. People are stupid. You're in the right. You're correct, and people are stupid. Time Spinners, a gay shout out for having to see heterosexual tendencies so soon. The struggle is real. They really just jumped in with the heterosexuality, and I was like, I didn't sign up for that. The power dynamics at play there are really uncomfortable. You rescued her, she feels indebted, even if she doesn't realize she does. He doesn't notice the imbalance. It's not the basis of a healthy relationship. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, especially when it comes to the representation of sex workers in media in particular. Which is like a whole thing. But it's interesting because when I was playing that scene and choosing some of the dialogue options, some of them would have leaned into making this something which I see in this trope all the time, which is that like a man thinks that he's like really good and really like feminist and really like blah if he like beats the shit out of another guy to show care for a woman, and then he becomes obsessed with like protecting her, and through doing that, it's like you're expressing or enacting some kind of like masculine aggression, and that's your like substitute for actual like care and humanity. And that's why in that situation, what I was trying to do in those dialogue choices, what was like going through my head was like, this is about her, and like, yeah, sure, it is helpful in this situation to try to stop him from hurting her, but also I should be asking if she's okay and asking what she wants to do, and not like trying to protect her and assume what she wants or needs in that situation. Also, I don't know her, so I'm not gonna like impose anything on her or anything like that. So that was what was going on through my head when I was playing through that scene, but it's like really uncomfortable because I hate that trope so much. Yeah. Oh, hello. Okay, so I can side scroll a little bit. Glass slipper shoes.
Guess Shoes by Cinderella would have been too obvious.
Okay, so I was getting the impression, I know that it said something at the start about, like, all of the fables who are, like, the characters from the fairy tales, I guess, basically being, displaced into, like, a particular neighborhood, which is also interesting because there's some kind of politics of, like, I don't know, like, segregation and gentrification and, like, urban space going on there, which is interesting. We'll see how that goes.
Luxury apartments.
I think that they were trying to inflect that scene with a certain, like, oh, they've met before, they know each other before, so it's not, like, weird or whatever, because they're not just meeting for the first time. And I'm like, still weird. Yeah, sometimes they do say that ignorance is bliss, but I think I'm happy with where I'm at, which is that I think critically about things. I like being a person who thinks critically about media. I think that's a good quality, so it's a good quality to have, caramel popcorn enthusiast. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Come on out.
Hello, Red Nails.
All right, all right.
Oh, is that you, Melissa? Melissa Hutchinson,
Hello,
that is?
Ruby.
Yeah, it is.
I wasn't expecting anyone. I know this looks a little odd, but there's an explanation, I swear. Look, if you don't have anything to say, I'm just gonna... Damn it, I'm late. Please, Bigby. Promise me you won't tell Beast you saw me. He worries too much as it is.
Oh, are you Beauty?
It would just make my life a lot easier. Just, please.
Promise
Sure.
I'm gonna take a woman. I don't know what's going on between them, but I'm gonna take a woman's side.
Thank you, Bigby. I'll explain it all to you later. I will, but I have to go.
Me with zero information. I'm on the woman's side. Like...
Thank you.
Yeah, Beauty.
Trust in
Okay.
me. Really, I appreciate it, Bigby.
Okay. Melissa Hutchinson, in Telltale Studios, alternating between playing literally Beauty from Beauty and the Beast, some kind of like kind of symbol of white female like beauty standards and everything that entails within our society, and then the same day she goes back to the booth to play like a 11-year-old like Blasian child who's being like exploited and abused.
Hey, you wink? Probably for the best.
Range. Yeah, it's fun. I think Melissa Hutchinson is white herself, which is interesting. I think that this game was being made around the time that The Walking Dead Season 2 was. So I think that that's the correct assumption that I've made. I also remember Melissa Hutchinson talking about it in the developer commentary for The Walking Dead.
Been a while since I got any mail.
I also think that Kenny's voice actor is somewhere in this game. So I'm gonna listen out for My Enemy. I'll know that voice when I hear it because I heard Melissa Hutchinson and I was like, it's my daughter's voice. I haven't heard it in so long. I'm gonna hear Kenny, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's my fucking mortal enemy's voice. I'd know it anywhere. La la la. Okay.
Bigby, hey, wait up. Have you seen my wife? Have you seen Beauty?
Nope. Haven't seen her.
Oh, okay. Sorry to bother.
Stop! That's him!
Damn it. Something's going on.
Stop! Stop! That's insane. Not them playing fucking dysfunctional husband and wife after playing dysfunctional, like, horrible man and stepdaughter figure. Oh my god. That's insane.
Damn. Should have cracked a window.
I'm good. It's not... It's funny. I'm processing, but I'm good. I don't need a moment, don't worry. It's always fun to find a Kenny enemy. I hate that man so much. I hate him so much. I can't even describe to you how much I hate him. So if you're looking for a safe space to share in the true word, the true gospel of correct Telltale's The Walking Dead takes, then this is the place. And the correct take about Kenny is that he's the fucking worst. So this is the place.
Damn it.
I'm just a man who doesn't have any food in his house.
Why do I even own this? Should have got a smaller one.
All I have is beer and no ice and takeaway boxes, 'cause I'm a rugged man. My kitchen is tiny. But it's okay because I always eat Chinese takeaway. Sorry, Americans don't say that, do they? Takeout.
Don't even remember ordering that. Probably a bad sign.
It's okay. I mean, it was when I used to drink, but I've been known to order a takeaway and then just forget that I did that.
Bluebeard's file.
Bluebeard's file, oh my god.
Never trusted this guy.
I never realized Beast shares his voice. Maybe I'm so used to identifying Kenny as the guy who's always yelling. I don't blame you. I think that's kind of why I was processing that for a second, because the acting that, yeah, I mean, he's a voice actor, so obviously, but the acting that he's doing is so different. Like, it's such a different vibe. But I mean, we just met that character, so we'll see. Hey, hi Fwoosh. Thank you so much for resubscribing at tier 1. Hi back. I hope you're doing okay. I thought it was just me, this is all caps, who thought he was acting crazy when he reunited with Clem. I think that he was acting crazy the whole time, to be honest. Like, yeah, he was acting fucking insane in season 2. Fucking insane. But I also think he was acting insane in season 1, man. And I think it's crazy that people think that Kenny and Lee had, like, a good friendship, because, like, to me, I'm playing that game and I'm like, oh, this is, like, abusive. But I don't know if being a person of color who's had weird relationships with white people and has become better at, like, recognizing them helps. Red! Yeah! I'm red. Thank you for noticing. I hope you like it. I did it for the fans.
Should help.
I do everything for you guys. Yeah, I did not recognize that voice. Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, there's a pig on my sofa called Colin, and he's snoring. For a second I thought he wasn't moving, and I was like, dead pig on the couch? Haram. Live pig snoring on my couch? Fine. Friend.
Not again. Hey, Colin. Get up.
For anyone who's new to the channel and the chat, you'll be delighted to learn that I'm working on a video essay about Telltale's The Walking Dead. It will be with you in a couple of months, probably.
Big B. I'm in your chair, huh?
There's only the one.
I've only got the one. So yeah.
Oh, so slow. Hi, Colin. Who's a grumpy little guy? Why doesn't Colin have a bed? Can't you just get him like a big dog
Got a
bed?
smoke?
Yeah, go on. Go off, Colin.
Thanks. Couple thousand more of these, we'll be even on that house you owe me.
This has gotta stop. You can't keep sneaking off the farm like
The
this.
farm? That sounds ominous.
The fresh air and sunshine pitch they sell you on is bullshit. I didn't escape out of the homelands to end up in some prison, okay? Don't send me back.
I am
there.
intrigued about the
You don't know
politics
what
of
it's
this
like,
universe.
okay? You haven't been there.
I don't know what to say because I don't even know what's going on.
Exactly. You know I'm right.
Colin took your silence as agreement.
That for me?
You're probably right. It sounds like the animals are being
The house
oppressed.
didn't blow itself down, Bigby. That's all I'm saying. Do with that what you will. Now, I'm not saying it's reason enough for me to have definitely been offered a drink, but, it would have helped ease some of the pain you once caused me, yes? It also would have shown everyone how different you are now.
What am I drinking? I don't know what I'm drinking. I also don't know what to say in this situation because I have no context yet.
Nice. I take it all back. This is why everyone hates you.
So, everyone hates me.
Nah, I'm just giving you shit.
I'm doing my best here.
Clearly that is not true, what with the selfishness with the bourbon. But, no.
Oh, that was a bad
hate's the
decision,
wrong
huh?
word. They fear you more than anything. You ate a lot of people back in your day.
Thought we were all supposed to have a fresh start here. I can't change the past.
Well, you can't change people's
Aw,
memories
why
either.
does everybody hold it against me that I ate people?
Look, I'm not saying it's fair, but it's real. People are scared of you. I mean, look at your hands.
Also, you're a fucking cop. Maybe find a change of profession and you'll
Who'd you
be
get
more
in a fight
popular.
with? A fable, right? I'm sure you're not going around punching Mondays.
Wasn't my fault.
I get the impression you say that a lot.
Colin's unimpressed. Yeah.
You think my job is easy? You try keeping a bunch of fables from killing each other. How do you think this all works?
I forgot about the giant pig. Have you played this before as well, Foosh? Quick chat check. I remember the last stream with Charlotte on Double Exposure about a hair prize, as in hair surprise. I just remembered. Yeah, we didn't do the red hair reveal on that stream because I was... No, the wig is... I was wearing the blue wig for the Chloe Price cosplay. So this is the hair reveal. Welcome. This is the red hair reveal. Think that answers your question. It's the same wolf in each story. Okay, interesting. Interesting.
I don't know. How?
By being big and being bad.
By being big and being bad. Don't say that shit in front of people.
Okay, yeah, I
It's
love Colin.
embarrassing.
Colin is the MVP.
That's the attitude that gets you in trouble.
It's
I'm sure you were shitty to everyone you came across.
really,
tonight.
truly change your profession.
Everyone.
Name one.
If you're trying to get more popular with people, then you need...
I don't actually know her name.
Awesome. Great example. Life is easier with friends, Bigby. And we live a long fucking time. I know you like this whole lone wolf thing you got going for yourself. But I've seen the way you look at Snow, okay? You're not fooling me.
Will you shut up?
Oh my god, what? He
Well,
has a
maybe
crush
if
on
my
Snow
throat
White?
wasn't so parched, I wouldn't have to keep talking.
Wait, that doesn't make
Just
sense.
give me a drink, please.
Colin, enough already. I haven't slept in 2 days. I went out a second-story window, and I want to get in 2 seconds of shut
Also,
up.
Fwoosh, I'm not sure I thanked you for resubscribing
If I give you
at
this,
Tier 1
will you let
for
me sleep?
38 months.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so many
all right.
months! Thank you so much. Give Colin a drink.
Thanks, Bigby.
My question is, Colin, how does it go? Yeah, okay, there we go. That's the answer to my question. I was like, how's he gonna hold that with his hooves? You know? Going strong. Yeah, indeed. I'm not even gonna try and attempt to do maths to figure out how many years that is. But that's multiple years. That's at least 3 years? I think that may be 3 years and 2 months. Hello? Who is it?
Bigby,
Snow?
come with me.
Okay, that's Snow White, I guess.
Snow.
She's hot.
Snow!
What?
I don't know why she's giving girl boss
Sorry,
chic. Why is Snow
What is
Snow White a girl boss? Snow boss.
What happened?
I just can't get into it this second. We need to hurry to
This diva?
Hello?
For real.
morning or evening.
Yeah.
These walls are paper thin. We need to be careful. We'll talk outside.
I'm sorry, Cause. Cause says it's the 80s, be thankful the shoulder pads are only that size. I love shoulder pads. I don't know what you're talking about. I adore shoulder pads. The bigger the shoulder pad, the better. The shoulder pads are too small. There needs to be more shoulder pad on her outfit. It's not 80s enough. The jacket needs to be bigger. The shoulder pads need to be bigger. The hair needs to be bigger. I couldn't disagree with you more. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta disagree. Oh my god, Snow White, my beloved. She made me realize I was a lesbian. I love that for you. I think she's a good... I think she's a great lesbian awakening. I love that for you, Baku Watch. She's giving lesbian energy. Based on nothing. I've decided that. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just how she looks. No, the outfit needs more. It needs more. It actually needs more 80s. Can't half-ass a shoulder pad, man. Oh, shit! Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
You knew this girl? She's not a Mundy, right? Who was she? I thought I knew everyone in Fabletown.
I had a feeling she was a sex worker.
Can't place her, though.
A working girl?
A working girl? I'm a working...
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're a working girl and she's a working girl. It's almost as though... It's almost as if sex workers work. Ah! How crazy is that?
The woodsman. He attacked her, I stepped in. And he threatened to kill us both.
No, you don't think he...
I don't think anything yet. Just give me a second.
However, my options were working girl and prostitute, so...
It took me a second to realize what I was even looking at.
So, did you see anyone else?
No, no one.
No cabs, no voices, Mundies?
Maybe, but... No, I don't think so. I would remember.
Okay.
Big P, did one of us do this?
There hasn't been a murder in Fabletown in a long time.
All the more
Charlotte,
reason
the
we should
mystery is
start a panic
happening.
before we know what's
You're
going
getting the
on.
mystery. R.I.P. Queen, for
Have a look
real.
around. We don't have much time before people will be coming through here.
I mean, I said that I didn't want heterosexuality between them, but this was not the cost that I had in mind for preventing that.
Strange cut. What did this to her?
What could do something like that?
Either something very sharp or something with magic attached to it.
There's been a moiter! There's been a moiter!
What is?
Okay. Don't think you should wear gloves or anything.
It's her ribbon. There's some kind of symbol here.
Huh. I don't recognize it.
Neither do I.
Hmm.
She was placed here with some care.
What do you mean?
You can see that someone didn't just toss her here. She was deliberately placed for us to find.
What kind of monster would do this?
Yeah, I mean, it seems intentionally placed for sure. A moiter in this city?
I'm sorry. This is just so surreal. What do you want to do next?
I guess I'll investigate a little bit more.
We still have some time. I should keep investigating the area.
Okay, good idea.
I can't believe I just only realized that her blouse is covered in snowflakes. Yeah, it really is. They did that. Let's have a look around. Let's investigate the crime scene. There's been a moiter. Let's look for some clues. Snowflakes are a nice touch. Massive sleigh on her part. Yeah, I agree. The fit is a sleigh, but once again, the jacket's fit is not quite 80s enough for me. The shoulder blades need to be bigger, and the fit needs to be a bit poofier. You know what I'm saying?
Blood. Drops of blood. I'd say it's been here an hour, maybe?
Okay.
Fabric. Looks like jeans. Doesn't tell me much.
What's in the trash?
Just some loose trash.
Oh.
Yep, more blood. Someone might have hopped the fence, got caught, then left the trail I found earlier. Blood. Still wet.
Some very bright blood.
Sharp enough.
Okay, I guess that's everything over there. I've got a speed walk button, thankfully. Oh, wait, no, let me okay, let's chat first.
Hey, Sna. You alright?
Yes, thanks. But you should hurry. We don't have much time left. We should head back inside soon.
Yeah, she is a high femme queen.
What are you doing?
Better to be thorough.
Sure, just hurry up. We don't have much time.
Oh my god. He's a fucking weirdo. And he has a crush on her. She's out of your league, man. And also a dyke.
You'll find out more at the business office. She'll be in the books. I'm sure of it. Bigby, do you have any idea
I've decided
what's going
that.
on?
I don't even care what's canon.
How did this happen? Why her?
Someone brought her in from the outside.
That makes sense. There's no signs of a struggle. But how do you know?
There's also, sorry, before continuing, I just want to briefly mention, so I was talking earlier about that kind of whole trope that you get in media a lot, especially as it pertains to sex workers. And there's a lot to unpack about, like, why that's an annoying trope in the representation of sex workers. I think once it has a lot to do with how, like, men, and obviously sex work is like feminized labor, so not all sex workers are women, but the vast majority are, and it is like feminized labor. And men don't see sex workers as people, right? And there are a lot of ways that this manifests in media representations of sex workers, but in this particular like trope, it's the idea of like saving the sex worker. And this trope, we see it loads because the media doesn't want to kind of put forward any genuinely meaningful or challenging analysis of like why sex work exists within our society and what the experiences of sex workers are, how they're exploited and systematically exploited and abused, and how that has a lot to do with like gender and criminality and immigration status and disability and other forms of marginalization. And instead of engaging with any kind of like meaningful like, I don't know, storytelling or critique about sex work, a man will... He's never cared about sex workers or the conditions of sex workers in his life, and then he meets one sex worker, he thinks she's hot, basically, and then he's like, I'm gonna save her, and like lift her out of this life of like poverty and depravity, because sex work is beneath her, because, you know, sex work isn't a thing that like good, worthy women do, you know what I mean? And there are a lot of manifestations of that trope. And it's really denigrating, and really problematic in a lot of ways. One of the other tropes about sex workers in media, which is coming up here, is serial killers. We don't know if it's a serial killer yet, but killers are serial killers who murder sex workers. And again, when this is represented in media, so often in real life it's true that many killers, especially male killers, which the vast majority of them are, that's very important to say, because that's not a coincidence, they target sex workers, and that is for a reason. It's not a coincidence, and it's because of like misogyny, but it's also because sex workers' position in society is highly marginalized and highly precarious. This is something that's somewhat context dependent depending on where you live, but I live in the UK, and in the UK sex work is not legal, and in the UK in the UK sex work is criminalized in like various like ways. Like, it's quite complex, but like for example, brothel keeping, quote unquote, is criminalized, which means that sex workers can't like live and work in an apartment together, which further kind of endangers sex workers because they often do that to keep each other safe. And anyway, it's largely criminalized within our society. So a lot of the people who engage in sex work are undocumented, for example, because, you know, perhaps they don't have access to other forms of employment, so they engage in sex work. And because of the precarity of this, so the work itself is criminalized, and often the people who engage in the work are criminalized, such as undocumented people. That makes them targets that killers can kind of be like, this is someone that I can kill that is vulnerable and that the state targets for death anyway. Like, this is a person that in a sense is marked for death because of systematic like violence and neglect by the state. So if I'm a horrible misogynist and I want to mass murder women, then it makes sense that I would target sex workers because I'm less likely to get caught, there's less likely to be consequences, because sex workers are not protected by the state. If anything, they're like targeted and criminalized and stuff by the state. And anyway, when this is represented in media, the killing of sex workers, when this is represented in media, it is often not done in a meaningful way that engages with any of what I just said, that like actually centers the stories or the humanity or the emotional life or the individuality or whatever of the sex workers who are killed. Usually this media focuses on kind of like, ooh, the fascination of the serial killer and like pathologizing their depravity instead of kind of pathologizing it is important as well, right? Because it's like, oh, this person is just like a crazy serial killer. It has nothing to do with the society and how like our society enables and institutionalizes violence towards women and like undocumented people and homeless people and sex workers. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just that this person is crazy and they want to kill people, and so this is often represented in media, but never in a way that actually like meaningfully deals with any of that stuff, or actually humanizes sex workers and tells sex workers stories in a meaningful way. And I also want to make it clear that I am not trying to speak for people in sex work, but I have learned a lot from the voices of people who have actually done sex work or are doing sex work, who have written and spoken a lot about this. I'm not trying to like, you know, speak on behalf of anyone. And I'll kind of round off that thought by recommending the amazing book Revolting Prostitutes by what are the names of the authors again? Revolting Prostitutes. It's by Juno Mack, I think, and someone Smith. I'm gonna look this up for you guys real quick because I really recommend that book. Because it was really formative for my politics on sex work, and it's just really awesome. And it's actually written by sex workers, which is really important. Juno Mack and Molly Smith. There we go. Revolting Prostitutes. Yeah, it often intersects with race. I mean, yeah, I didn't say that explicitly, but when I'm talking about undocumented migrants and how that's like a huge incidence of sex workers are undocumented migrants because of various reasons that I mentioned, then usually, often, we're talking about racialized people. Robert Picton primarily targeted indigenous women who are sex workers, for example. That's a good example, Faye. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know about this specific person that you were mentioning. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about like killers, serial killers in particular, you can often see certain racial trends in like the way that they target specific women, specific sex workers and stuff. Anyway, wow, I wasn't expecting to talk about this today. It's always fun being on this channel. You're playing a video game, and suddenly you're talking about the politics of sex work on stream. I'm gonna need to sleep. Have fun with the rest of the game. Thanks for dropping by, Fusion. Thank you for resubscribing. Ooh, Hydrate was redeemed. Thank you for... thank you for that. Let me scroll back. The dude's a sheriff. He said his only job is keeping the peace. He's not done a murder investigation in ages by the sound of it. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we could say about, like, the police and keeping the peace and what that means and how that's a deceptively innocuous phrase, but it actually, like, entails a huge amount of violence. Don't worry about it, Faye. That's fine. I appreciate it.
I found blood on the fence back there. Someone hopped over.
Okay, good. That's solid. So, someone from the outside. Well, at least they didn't come from inside the
Snow
woodlands.
agrees with your theory.
I'm gonna have to tell Crane about this. As long as King Cole is gone, he's acting mayor. He needs to know. And he's going to find out anyway, so we may as well get out in front of it. It'll just be worse if he finds out we held it from him. I know you don't like him, but he's our boss. This is part of the job.
We should wait until we have more to tell him. Right now, all we know is a girl is dead. Telling Crane doesn't change that. I've got all the motivation I need to find out who did this.
That sounds reasonable, but I don't know.
She said our boss, so what's her
Just
job?
don't want him interfering.
Oh god, please don't tell me she's like a district attorney.
Crane's not what's important right now. We need to figure out who this girl was
Huge
so we
turn
can
off.
find whoever did this.
If so,
Take this back to Dr. Swinehart.
that might
We can take a look at it. I'll
disavow
meet you
her
at
as
the
a
business
lesbian if
office.
she's a district attorney. Who are these little
you,
dweebs?
blind?
What, you don't see there's a line? I've been standing here a half hour already. You get to just walk in?
I'll say about Firefly, as much as I lost interest. Is that the Joss Whedon show, Firefly? The sex worker's intro in the show was pretty good, kicking out a client who wanted to, quote, save her in a polite way. Regrettably, lesbian district attorneys do exist. Yeah, but regrettably they do. But I mean that I rescind my claiming her for the lesbians because we've not actually received a confirmation either way. If she's actually a lesbian, like in the text, and a district attorney at the same time, then I'll be upset.
Be nice being the sheriff. Do whatever the fuck you like.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, you and all the rest of them in there.
I gotta say, the lesbian cop trope
Fucker.
is also one of my least favorite tropes ever. It makes me so angry.
Because you are the one bringing this to me, Miss Snow. The one who so simply stumbled upon this catastrophe on our very doorstep. The last thing I need with Mayor Cole away is a hysteria. Do you understand me?
Yes, of course I do.
Don't interrupt me, Miss Snow.
You asked me a
Who's
question.
this fucking
Don't change the subject. You are to blame for this unpleasantness, Miss Snow.
I brought you this
crotchety
news
old
as
guy?
soon as I could.
You are trusted to keep things running smoothly around here. This is a disaster.
Back off, Ichabod. It's not her
Ichabod.
fault.
I don't need your help, Bigby.
Instead of trying to assign blame, maybe we should figure out how to catch the fucker who did this.
Oh, says the man who is most to blame for this catastrophe. How convenient. Sheriff, you are the one charged with protecting the citizens of Fabletown. Your failure to do so cost someone their life and the safety of the entire community. Tell me you've been doing something. Are there any leads? Suspects?
Ichabod Crane,
Anything at all.
director of
Any
operations.
shred of evidence you two know what the hell you're doing. Because right now, I have half a mind to fire the both of you.
Yeah, her pimp.
Her... Was she,
Yeah. She was worried about a money situation.
Well, this is just wonderful. Not only is a fable killed, but it was a fable hooker
Hey.
to boot. You two need to get a handle on this
Fucking
situation
watch
quickly
it.
and quietly. The last thing we need is all of Fabletown knowing there's a killer amongst us. Snow,
Yes? Sir?
call Vivian right this minute and let her know I'm coming in early for my massage.
I will.
Okay.
Where is the bottle of wine you were to purchase? Don't bother. Forget it. Can't do anything right.
Okay, I hate him. Ichabod Crane
Do your job,
was the
Sheriff.
main character
We'll
in
find
the
someone-
Headless Horseman / Sleepy Hollow Tale. I actually also don't really know that one, so what I'm realizing is that I don't really know a whole lot about Western fairy tales. Love that for me. And they are often butch, but not always. The like lesbian cops. I feel like I can think of a few off the top of my head who aren't necessarily like butch, but it is like a conflation between like masculinity, like the field of police work being this like masculine field with like lesbianism, I feel, and then it's also like the assimilation of lesbians into the like neoliberal like status quo, like with the institutions, which is like not what queer politics is about. If you're a lesbian cop, then you're a traitor. Yeah. That's it. Firefly definitely had its issues, but the sex worker politics seemed pretty good. Interesting. Yeah, I've never actually watched it. It's been on my list for a very long time, but I've never actually watched it.
One who can.
You know what?
Stop. We'll get on it right away, sir.
Interesting.
You would have just pissed him off more.
All right.
Quit your job.
That could have gone
Find
better.
another
Well,
job.
I guess I should have listened to you and waited.
Wasn't gonna say I told you so.
You don't have to say it. It would have been better to have more to offer. Get our ducks in a row. Oh, Crane doesn't like people smoking and... Never mind. Smoke away.
Who gets a massage this early?
Crane. It doesn't really matter the time of day. A mere scent of stress and he's out the door.
Hello.
Is he
Oh,
gone?
hello, little friend.
Yes, thankfully. Buffkin!
Hello, Miss Snow.
Drinking? This early? Where did you get that?
It was by Mr. Ichabod's desk.
Then don't you think it probably belongs to him?
Maybe.
Buffkin steal his alcohol.
How are you today,
King
Mr.
shit.
Bigby?
It hasn't been a great morning, Buffkin.
Sorry.
Not your fault. Thanks for asking, though.
Buffkin, get the books.
Which books?
The ones with all the fables in it.
Not sure that was any more specific.
Bring the first 3.
Be back in a few minutes.
He knows the ones I'm talking about. There's bound to be information on her here. Somewhere. We'll at least be able to get her real name from the books.
Yeah, I
whenever
would
Buffkin
really
finds
like
them.
to refer to
In
her
the
with a
meantime,
name
poke around.
instead of people
Maybe
making
the mirror can
derogatory comments about sex workers every time we talk
I
about
really
her.
have to get this appointment squared away, but let me know if you need anything.
Let me check this Book of Fables situation real quick. Bigby Wolf, Fabletown Sheriff, the renowned Big Bad Wolf. He's known for tormenting pigs and girls in red hoods. Oh, is that why Colin lives in the flat? But is trying to put those dark days behind him. Bigby now acts as Fabletown's sheriff and remains in his human form mostly. Yeah, the whole like being a cop is him trying to be a better person that's not the one. However, due to his rough past, the citizens of Fabletown are slow to trust him. Bigby is determined to show that he's truly changed, but some instincts are just too hard to control. Okay, interesting. It looks like they're gonna explore that whole idea of, like, having it being in your nature to want to commit violence or whatever, which is a whole thing. We can unpack that later. Snow White, assistant to the deputy mayor. Okay, thank God she's not a district attorney. I was really worried for a second there. Snow White may seem cold, but this stems from her life of mistreatment and abuse back in the homelands. Oh. Well, that is kind of what happens to her in the fairy tale when you think about it. After escaping assault and imprisonment, not to mention an attempt on her life, she married Prince Charming. It wasn't long before Snow discovered that Charming cheated on her with her estranged sister, Rose Red, and she divorced him. Does Snow White have a sister in the fairy tale? I don't think so. After the Exodus, Snow focused her attention on setting up a safe haven for fables in the New World. She now serves as assistant to the deputy mayor of Fabletown. Okay. The Woodsman, fallen hero. The Woodsman is one of the few men who went toe-to-toe with Bigby in his Black Forest days and lived to tell the tale. Right, okay, so if Bigby is like the big bad wolf in all of the stories that have a big bad wolf, then that makes sense, and that makes me, like, recontextualize the fight that the two of them had. In an attempt to save Little Red Riding Hood, he split the great wolf's belly open with his axe, filled him full of rocks, and threw the beast into a river. To his dismay, his popularity has faded. Even his name is forgotten, and he is known only as the Woodsman. Beauty and her husband, Beast, once lived in an enchanted castle, but they were forced to flee the homelands in the Exodus, leaving all of their wealth behind. There's a lot going on with calling an event like the Exodus with a capital E. Of course, this is like biblical imagery vibes, but it's also like, I mean, I was kind of alluding to before how it's like, oh, these people were forcibly displaced and are trying to, like, build a new community somewhere, which is a lot to think about politically, because obviously, it's important to say that forcible displacement is something that happens to communities in real life, but this is something that's often, like, really racialized. So I was kind of alluding to urban displacement earlier. So urban displacement is essentially, like, the result of gentrification of, as working class and racialized communities and migrant communities become increasingly gentrified. House prices soar. They can't afford to live in their own homes anymore, so they have to move further and further out. This is forced displacement through kind of like economic means, and there are various other means of forced displacement, and one of the major examples is the genocide of the Palestinian people and the forced displacement of the Palestinian people from and within Gaza, but also throughout historic Palestine for the last 76 years. And, if you want to learn more about that, then Nightbot has very usefully reposted my latest video essay on navigating Palestine in Assassin's Creed. But anyway, forced displacement is, it's like a really classed and racialized thing, so I think it being part of the story in this way is quite fascinating. Now, Beauty and Beast live in a modest studio in Fabletown, New York. Though times are hard with Beast working multiple jobs to pay the bills, the couple have the longest lasting relationship of all the Fables. Wow. Oh. Beast, concerned husband. Oh, sorry, with Beauty it said caring wife. Beast, concerned husband. Beast and his wife, Beauty, left everything behind when they escaped the homelands in the Exodus. Without his former wealth, also the homelands, again, this reminds me of Palestine, because you have indigenous people being displaced from their homelands. And that reminds me of the Bible. So there's a lot going on. Without his former wealth, Beast must pick up extra work to make ends meet. He is able to get around Fabletown without a glamour most of the time, But if Beauty gets too angry with him, he becomes more beastly by the minute, growing horns and large teeth. Despite the occasional bickering, the two are truly in love and have the longest lasting relationship of anyone in Fabletown. Are they truly in love, or do straight women live in the chokehold of compulsory heterosexuality? That is always the question, and we will find out. Mr. Toad, slumlord. Okay. Mr. Toad is the superintendent for a defunct tenement on the edge of Fabletown proper. Because he's a 3.5-foot talking amphibian, Toad is required by Fabletown law to keep his family and himself magically glamoured to appear human. The problem is Toad isn't too concerned with what the law is and has to be reminded often. Is he a landlord? I'm so confused. Okay, quick chat check. I'm not hating this, but it is giving the real Disney princesses Tumblr edits where Cinderella has like plastic surgery or some shit. Yes, I see what you're saying and I don't disagree. But let's see where things go. If Beauty gets too angry with him, feels very loaded. Yeah, it does. It's very like abusive husband is abusive and it's the wife's fault somehow. Like what? Colin Couchsurfer. Colin is better known as one of the 3 little pigs. Oh, I wonder if we'll meet the other little pigs. But yes, this is the connection that I was thinking about. Back in the homelands, they were harassed by the big bad wolf, blew down Colin's house of straw. After the Exodus, Colin and the other fables who couldn't pass for human were sent to live at the farm in upstate New York. What is the farm? That is so ominous. Unable to stand such a boring life, Colin constantly makes trips down to Fabletown to bother Bigby. He is always caught and sent back to the farm, but he doesn't let that stop him. Right. Ichabod Crane, Deputy Mayor of Fabletown. Hailing from the haunted town of Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane has been Deputy Mayor of Fabletown for nearly 115 years. Crane is a bundle of nerves and takes his job very seriously, though that doesn't mean he always does it well. As one of Fabletown's elite, Crane is often blind to the troubles of the less well-off citizens. So he's the ruling class, so we're right to hate him. Overall, Crane is authoritarian, cowardly, and always hiding something. Delightful. Buffkin, Fabletown librarian. Oh my god, I love him even more now. Buffkin is the talking winged monkey from the land of Oz. Oh, why did I say it like that? From the land of Oz. Now, as Fabletown's librarian, he spends his time reading and stealing the deputy mayor's booze. He's prone to mischief, so when something goes wrong, he assumes he'll receive the lion's share of the blame. He's helpful when he wants to be, but most of the time he'd rather be drinking. Someone would have fired him a long time ago, but he's the only one who can make sense of the filing system. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, he owns the tenement. That's why he called Bigby the woodsman was breaking his building. He's a fucking landlord? Oh my god, okay. Mr. Toad is cancelled. And why... Hold on. And why is it always monster man and human woman? Unfair beauty standards. Yes. Unfair beauty standards, but I also think that there's, like, a lot to unpack about that. Just in terms of, like, that trope in media and what it means for how we internalize gender roles and how we internalize compulsory heterosexuality. Because it's like, if we're thinking about the Beauty and the Beast in particular, if we're thinking about that story in particular, like, it's very troubling. Because the idea of Beauty and the Beast is that Beauty has to be this perfect, beautiful woman on the inside and the outside, and Beast is this horrible, violent, aggressive, literal beast, and she has to be a patient fucking angel saint with him all the time. And if she deals with his bullshit and is a complete infallible saint, then he will become a better person, he will become a prince. So what is that if not like a story about how, like, what women's job is is to, like, put up with men's bullshit regardless of, like, the level or the scale of abuse, like emotional or physical, and make him a better person by, like, being like the picture of, like, saintly patience through it all, right? Like, deeply troubling when you think about it in that way, which is why I'm, like, getting weird vibes from this. Exactly where are my monster women? Yeah, this is my question. Where are the sexy monster women? Authoritarian and cowardly do tend to go hand in hand, that's true. Also, she's locked up the entire time with no escape. You are correct. You are correct, Cos. It's actually a really troubling story. Fabletown, home of the Fables. Fabletown is a community located on Bullfinch Street in Manhattan's Upper West Side. Not the Upper West Side! Not the Upper West Side! We're in Gossip Girl, guys. Isn't this, like, the rich part of New York as well? To regular people, or Mundies, it appears to be an ordinary New York neighborhood, but it is really the home of the fables from many worlds. And within the business office at the Woodlands lies a massive cavern, a vast library, and hundreds of magical items of immense power. All non-human fables live upstate on the farm, an extension of Fabletown. Oh! Segregation. Yay. The farm. Fabletown Annex. The farm is home to fables who cannot pass as human. That is the language that I used earlier, but the text is doing it now too. Giants, goblins, animals, etc. It is located in upstate New York, far enough away from the Mundies to avoid detection. Some of its residents resent their confinement to the farm despite its size and comforts. Okay, why are you trying to tell me that the prison that they're in is big and comfortable? To them, the farm is a prison. Yeah, it's a prison. They would be allowed to leave the farm if they could purchase a glamour. Oh my god. It's literally a prison. They have to post bail in order to be... Oh my god. This is literally the prison industrial complex, guys. Many don't have the money for something so expensive, though some, like Collins, sneak out into the city anyway. This is insane. Mundies, non-fables, and then it has a picture of two cops for some reason. Short for mundane. That's hilarious. So it's like, this is like this universe's version of a normie, which is really funny. Short for mundane. Mundy is a catch-all term that fables use to refer to the non-magical inhabitants of their adopted home. Warding spells placed around the blocks of Fabletown and the farm keep their minds distracted and dull within certain boundaries. However, if anything should pique the curiosity or scrutiny of a large group of Mundies, these magical protection charms would overload and fail. As Sheriff of Fabletown, one of Bigby's primary functions is ensuring the Fabletown community maintains a low profile. Oh my god, it's the Masquerade. Can't believe we're in Vampire the Masquerade. Glamour's disguise spell. Glamours are spells that allow the user to change their appearance. They are expensive but can be purchased by non-human fables in order to pass for human amongst the Mundies. Cheap glamours can be found in the seedier parts of Fabletown, but they are often unreliable and prone to sudden failure. It's cosmetic surgery. It's... oh my god, cosmetic surgery politics in my Telltale game? This is insane, guys. I don't know what I was expecting from this game, but this is so much. We're gonna have so much to talk about. Bluebeard, wealthy scoundrel. Bluebeard managed to escape the homelands with his riches intact and continues to be one of the wealthiest fables in New York. The Fabletown government depends on his generous contributions, and he often uses this influence for his own benefit. As a former serial killer, he claims his days of decapitating and his brides are over, but even if he was able to leave his violent ways in the homelands, that hasn't stopped him from making the occasional trip down Crooked Lane. Okay, that's... Well, we unlock more of these with each episode, looks like.
Vivian? Hi.
Hold on. Yeah, so you can absolutely leave. It's your choice. Oh, you're too poor? Sorry, can't help you. Don't make the rules. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a prison at all. Can we talk about can we talk parts about the farm that aren't explained in the game? Like, do you mean stuff that's in the comic books that's not in the game? Let's play a game. It'll be fun. We can relax and have fun with a little fairy tale. Oh, it's actually a treatise on the politics of wealth and poverty. Well, that's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is for. So perfect. Sure. Yeah, feel free, Jay Themborn.
This is Snow White, Mr.
Oh god, is that the fucking lamp from fucking Aladdin?
Calling to let you know that, Mr.
You don't know how...
Magic lamps are pretty much just lamps.
You don't know how... You guys don't know how much this shit pisses me off. You guys don't know how much this shit pisses me off. I was gonna say that it's clearly very Western-centric. All of it's like Western fairy tales, whatever. Okay, whatever. If white people are gonna write about white people shit, that's fine. Why is this here? Because, like, I don't know how to tell you guys. I'm sure you know. Like, I'm sure you know already. But, like, when you actually are a Muslim or actually Arab or actually Asian, when you watch Aladdin, you're like, this is the most racist shit in the world. And if you are none of these groups and you don't know much about us, I happen to be in all three of these groups, then you don't even know just how racist it is. Like, it's more racist than you think it is. You don't even know. No, caramel popcorn enthusiast, I was the same. When I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, there was no brown girl representation. I saw Princess Jasmine. I was like, oh my god, she's just like me for real. And now I'm like, we were starved. We were starved. We were starved. We were so starved. It was so... I'm so upset about it. I'm not healed. I'm not healed. I'm not healed.
Hey, Magic Mirror. I got a question.
You know the rule.
I don't have time for this shit.
Your impatience is callow. You're needlessly cruel, but have some respect for our history rules.
Mirror, mirror. If you're able, tell me all about this fable.
See? Was that so hard?
Yeah, I'm about 2 seconds away from kicking a hole in you.
There's no need for that. Fine. Of which fable do you wish to know?
Show me Snow White.
Not much of a request. She's in this very room.
Show me the woodsman. Where is he?
What you see is complete. The woodsman stumbles down a street.
No shit. Which street?
I'm sorry, Bigby. I can only show you what can be seen.
Show me Buffkin. Hey, put down the bottle and get to work.
Still looking.
I don't know her name. Not yet, anyway.
Well, until you do, I can't help you.
Show me the woodsman.
Okay.
Nobody right now.
Even as a
Very
child,
well.
I
Please
refused to
return should you
watch
wish to ask about someone else or someone new.
Aladdin because even the little bit I knew without watching told me it was racist towards us. Yes, bitter now. You are correct, and your child self was clearly
Well, I'm sure we'll get it all
smarter than
cleared up.
mine.
Okay.
So, credit to you. It's just I'm sure that some of you guys know from what I would assume based on what you're saying about your background. The genie thing, that shit pisses me off so much. I actually, okay, so real tea, this is kind of tea. There's this, I'll try and be brief. There's a film that is coming out this year. It had its premiere in the UK. Called The Glassworker. It's the first animated feature from Pakistan, which, like, you know, there's not an animation industry in Pakistan. There's no money, there's no infrastructure, it's not a thing. So it's the first animated feature in Pakistan from, like, the first, like, animation company in Pakistan. I saw it. I had mixed feelings about it. I didn't really like it that much. It has to be said. I'm not gonna go into a whole thing right now. I can do that later if you want me to, though. But there's a Q&A after the screening, and when I tell you that a white woman walked in, a fucking Gauri walked in, and it was like, this is the screenwriter. I was like, this explains so much. It explains so much. And people are asking questions, and there's so much about that I could say. But anyway, this fucking Gauri, right? She doesn't know anything. I think that I asked a question where I was like, I was really surprised that the film was in English because we watched it in English because that's the first language that it was made in, I think. There is an Urdu version, apparently, but for some reason the screening was in English, and I was like, not vibing with that. What was I gonna say? She said, like, there were questions that were being asked about, like, oh, why is the film in English? And she was like, oh, it's because I don't know any Urdu. Like, the extent of my Urdu is shukriya. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And she's like, oh, I did, like, a bunch of research about Pakistani culture. And she says that she did a bunch of research on Pakistani culture, and then at one point she fully starts... There's a plotline about a jinn in the movie, and when asked about it, she's like, oh, it's like a genie, you know? You guys know genies. And, you know, they, like, grant your wishes and stuff. I'm like, bitch! That's not... How did you write a screenplay for a Pakistani feature film and you don't know what a jinn is? And you're telling people that what a jinn is the incorrect stereotype that was produced by Western cinema, that a genie is a fucking spirit that you rub the lamp and it grants your 3 wishes. That is not what a jinn is. That's not what a fucking jinn is. I'm still so angry about it. I'm still so angry about it. Anyway, I'm bringing that up because you guys need to know that that is not what a jinn is. Don't trust Aladdin. Read a book. Ask a Muslim. That is not what a jinn is. I'm so furious. I'm so angry about it. Anyway, that's the lamp from Aladdin. I did some research. Yeah, well, we've all been on Wikipedia. Exactly. She literally, like, And you can tell, you watch the movie and you're like, this bitch doesn't know anything about Pakistani culture. But there's so much else that I could say about that movie of why I didn't like it.
Cards. Jack brought him back from Appalachia. Who knows where they were before then, or what he did to get them.
Yeah. So, because like, you know, Aladdin kind of roughly like approximates some kind of incorrect racial stereotype of a bunch of things from like Arab, South Asian, and Muslim culture, which is why you have a sultan, and the sultan has a daughter who has a tiger called Raja. It doesn't make any sense.
Strength. I guess it comes in all forms.
Okay. So I love tarot. Anyone who's been on the channel before knows that I love tarot. He pulled the strength card. Strength usually has a lion on it. Their illustration of strength is a woman holding a wolf, which I feel is very relevant to the conversation that we were having about like the gendered trope about how women are supposed to take care of awful beastly men. No matter how awful and beastly they are, it's their responsibility to do that. Just saying, just pointing that out. Her research was infographics on Canva, for real. I wish Jinns granted wishes. I mean, it would be pretty cool if they did. Okay, so Jay Thunborn is telling us some stuff about the farms. Since they can't pass as human, they are stuck in that community, and there is a danger of humans discovering on occasion. Is there an earlier message? Yes. In the farm, magic is forbidden, and the fables are left to their own devices. No law enforcement and lots of gang rivalries. I mean, I guess at least there's no police, but it sounds like they've reinforced the trope of like no law enforcement equals bad and chaos, which is a whole other conversation. Since they can't pass as human, they are stuck in that community. Okay, interesting. Anyway, I will say, if there's one thing that Aladdin did for me, it's that Princess Jasmine, particularly that whole sequence where she's in the little red outfit, that made me gay.
Great.
What?
I can't read any of this shit.
I can help.
Yeah, thanks.
We look out for each other.
Don't overdo it.
Oh.
Buffkin, translate.
An exquisite design from the good china of Toad Hall.
Mr. Toad?
He probably wrote this in himself.
Buffkin, translate.
An exquisite design from the good china
you already
of
said
Toad
this.
Hall.
Mr. Toad?
He probably wrote this in himself.
This is the one. Where is this symbol from? Which family or story?
That's an odd one. Family name? Alerlairau? I'll go look it up.
Alelairo. That means every kind of fur in German.
Donkey skin.
Yes. What does it say?
Donkey skin girl, also known as donkey skin, also known as ass skin, prefers to go by the name Faith. Poetic?
Buffkin, we don't need the commentary.
The story of Donkey Skin. There was once a great king with a beautiful queen. The queen grew ill and had her husband promise to only marry the most beautiful girl in the kingdom. After a long search, it became clear that the only woman in the land that could match her beauty was his daughter, Faith. She had a magic cloak made from the skin of her father's prized donkey that would hide her beauty so she could escape his kingdom. Eventually, she married a prince who could see past the magic cloak and knew her true beauty. and they lived happily ever after.
Oh.
Should I mark it, Miss Snow?
Yes. Please. And what's her husband's name?
Lawrence. Prince Lawrence.
That's...
We got what we came for.
Yeah.
Her name's Faith. She was married to Prince Lawrence. I mean, that's more than
Her
we...
name was Faith.
Yeah.
We should talk to the husband.
You think he did it?
I mean, the husband is usually the first suspect.
Nothing would surprise me at this point. We can't rule him out.
Most women who are murdered in intimate partner violence by a male partner.
Any information on fables in our community will be somewhere in these books. We already know her name, but feel free to have a look if you like.
Me. And him.
The woodsman?
Yep. And his axe.
Poor Faith. I feel really bad for her. She just gets introduced to the story and then everything about her life is sad.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be me.
Yeah. Dwarves. Less said about that, the better.
Why?
I think her name was Red. She didn't make it out.
Oh.
Beauty in happier days. And her man, Beast.
Funny.
Free beauty from Beast. That's my take.
Colin and his brothers. Yeah, that's her, all right. Long time ago.
I'm sad now.
Ichabod Crane. Scared shitless.
What's that?
Your boss. His finest moment. Hard to understand how he ended up running this place.
Well, maybe it's time that changed.
Haven't seen Badger around for a while.
He likes his privacy, I think.
I wish Toad would like his a bit more. Nice hat.
Okay, what's my objective now? Is there a way for me to see my objective? Scrap of fabric, face ring. Faith, I can ask about her. I can ask the mirror about her now.
Mirror, mirror, blah blah able, blah 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 about this fable.
Of which fable do you wish to know?
Show me Faith.
Through powerful magic, her whereabouts concealed. Unfortunately for you, these lips are sealed.
What?
These lips are sealed. It's not my choice of phrasing, Bigby. It's simply the way this has to
Huh, okay. Okay. Okay, well, let's ask about her disgusting, horrible, creepy, awful father.
Show me Faith's father, the old king. Guess that crosses him off the suspect list. He's a prince, I think. Show me Prince Lawrence. What's he been doing? Where is this?
Where's what?
Do you know where Prince Lawrence lives?
If he's a prince, probably relocated in the South Bronx. Yellow building, red window shutters?
Red frames.
Yep, that's the one. I can take us there.
Nobody right now.
Anything we can use?
Okay.
Yeah, that'll have to do for now.
Come on.
Okay, it sounds like
What's
they
going
really
on?
have like a segregated class society, huh?
Sorry, I have to get that. Hello, Woodland's business office. Yes, He is. Hold on. Bigby, it's for you.
Bigby, it's me, Toad. You there?
What do you want?
Bigby, shit. Listen, right, there's a bloke upstairs going through all the woodsman's things. Get over here, Bigby, before he... well, hang on.
I think this is an American doing an accent. I thought this earlier, but it's quite bad.
What was that about?
Hard to say. Something going on over at Toad's place.
What about Faith's husband?
I don't know. I couldn't really tell. But he could be in trouble. And we should go there anyway to search her apartment. Toad might have to wait.
Whenever you're ready.
Toad is from The Wind in the Willows. Yes, I remember The Wind in the Willows. I didn't remember him being a fucking landlord, though. Is that just something in this game, or...? It is not the worst Cockney accent, but it's not far off.
Did Toad say who
It's
was
pretty
there?
bad.
Was it the woodsman?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's possible. Whoever it was, it didn't seem like Toad was happy to see him.
Well, maybe Prince Lawrence can wait.
Yeah, he didn't see him. He could use some help, too.
Well, where to first?
I do not do a good Cockney accent.
Bigby, shit. Listen, right, there's a bloke upstairs going through all the woodsman's things.
You think he did it? What's her husband's name?
Lawrence. Prince Lawrence.
But I feel that I do a decent impression of somebody doing a bad Cockney accent. Yes, Toad of Toad Hall. I remember it well. I am curious about Lawrence.
We need to tell him about his wife. He deserves to know.
You're right. And Toad's a tough Toad. He can.
But also, I'm
probably
curious
handle
about this because, what's the situation with Faith and her husband? Like, did they separate? Because the vibe is that they have separated if he lives in some fancy fucking apartment and she's, you know, out on the streets and doing sex work.
I don't want to stay here any longer than
And
we
being
have to,
beaten
so
black
let's
and
just
blue
pick an
and,
approach
you know,
and
owes
stick to it,
money.
okay? Just humor me.
We're here to question Lawrence. Bump him up on the suspect list or cross him off entirely.
Okay.
What is it?
I just don't think he did it.
In cases like these, isn't it usually the husband?
For Mundy's, maybe. But this is different.
Why are you different? Because you're not normies or Mundies. My Cockney accent is very Oliver Twist. Yeah, I mean that's usually what I'm thinking of when I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, sir, please can I have a little more? Can I have some more, sir? More? Hello, governor. Or fucking Mary Poppins, that's the one.
Hey! Hey!
Oh, they do not look good.
Alright, we'll try this out.
Guess we're.
I'm not good at accents. I enjoy doing stupid accents, but I know I'm not good at
Come on,
them, so
help me
don't
out.
worry about it. I won't hold it against anyone if you say that I'm doing a bad accent. I know it's bad. No offense meant to the people of London. Some of you I mean offense to sometimes. But not all of you.
Oh God, we're too late. That makes two Fables dead. We need to figure out what the hell is going on here. Who would do this to
London?
them?
Oh, I'm from London town. Thank you, Charlotte, for accepting the offense on behalf of Londoners. I can do a bunch of accents, not professional quality. I don't mean to put on airs. I was raised not to have a regional accent by my parents, so I grew up fascinated by them. Oh, interesting. Faye, I know. Said with all the love in my heart, I know that you cannot do a British accent. But to be fair, I think that, like, when you have never been to England and don't really know English people, or Scottish people, or Welsh people, or Irish people, then a lot of people do not have a sense of what our regional accents actually are. And you consume culture where the representation that you see of us is like, either it's like people are doing like some like posho accent, like they're speaking the Queen's English, or it's like a fantasy TV show and you're like, oh, I know it's an accent, but I don't really know what the accent is. So there's a sense in which, in all seriousness, if you've never been or don't know what you're looking for, then I can see why that would be confusing. It's either Cockney or it's Hugh Grant. Yeah, no in between. It's true. It's funny because when I was playing the Game of Thrones game, I was thinking that like the only time in like popular media that's popular in America as well, where like North Americans ever hear accents outside of London, because like Cockney and the Queen's English is still like very regional, both of them, and it's like specific to London and the South. And you never really hear like Americans are never gonna fucking hear like a Scouser, or like a Brummie accent, or you know, like, but in Game of Thrones, all the Northerners are speaking in some kind of Northern accent from the north of England, specifically, obviously, which is a really interesting choice, but it's something I noticed. Because then you have like a load of people being like, I'm Jon Snow. I can't do these accents either. I'm so sorry to the north of England. You guys actually deserve respect. But they don't know what that accent is. They've never heard it in their life, which is quite an interesting phenomenon. Jon Snow.
What are they?
Prescription sleeping pills. Damn.
Okay, looks like we've got a couple of severed fingers.
Dry.
What is it?
This gun wasn't fired recently. Maybe a week ago. Or more.
Fingerprints?
They'll be on the grip and the trigger. Matches the caliber of the gun on the floor. That left a mark. Ruined his shirt.
Thanks for that, Bigby.
That doesn't really help.
They never really look peaceful, do they?
I wouldn't know.
What, you've never seen a dead body before? I think that's it. Fancy dagger.
Amir showed me this. It's sharp. And there's blood on the blade.
I just don't understand. Why Why would someone want to kill him?
Fuck the monarchy? Or something?
Strange. Hard edge to this pool, like something was here and got moved.
Spooky, ominous.
Still a little sticky.
Still a little sticky, ew. Also, he really never be wearing gloves for any of this.
When do you think that was taken?
Before all this. Bullet passed through the chair.
How? At that height? Does that make any sense? Okay, just putting evidence in his pocket, I guess. That's fine.
Snow, could you, stand over there? Point towards Lawrence, as if you're the shooter.
Yeah, the trajectory would not.
Feels strange. What are you thinking?
Slug should have gone over there, right behind him. Not here.
Right. So the shooters did somewhere else.
Maybe. Or we don't have the whole story.
Sorry, I am opening up a little snack. So apologies for some crunching, because these are crunchy little snacks. Investigating and eating my snack.
Son of a...
What's that?
What is that?
My dearest Faith, I never meant to hurt you.
It stuck to the bed a little. My dearest Faith, I never meant to hurt you, and I cannot endure knowing that I have. This was for the best. I'll see you again. Love, your devoted Lawrence.
I should know his face. There are so few of us. I should know his face.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, Rigby, he's alive.
Oh shit.
What are you doing here?
Let's get you back up.
Oh. What are you doing here?
Another Moida mystery.
What's going on?
We found you here, in your chair with what we thought was a fatal injury. We should call Swinehart, have him take a look at you.
Wait a second on that, Snow. You know who I am?
Yes.
Good. I have a few questions.
What? What's this about?
I found your note.
I made a decision. For us. It felt like the only way out. So... I shot myself in the heart. Thought I'd be dead by now.
Damn. Yeah, I thought you'd be dead by now too.
Your heart's actually a little more to the center. Probably had a lung.
Great. At least, that's how I think it happened. Things are a little fuzzy. Thought it was a bad dream.
But what about the other blood splatter and the other bullet and...
I did it because I was ashamed. I couldn't live with myself, knowing I had done that to her. I did what I could to keep her away, but she still worries about me. She comes by, makes sure I'm okay. useless.
Aw.
I don't want her to have to worry about me anymore. She's better off without me. Without me being here to drag her down.
Oh, Jesus.
She deserves that. She's been through a lot. I just wish I could have done better by her. She's always been there for me.
I'm telling him the truth.
I'm sorry to inform you that your wife has been killed.
No. No. No, no, no. I knew this would happen.
I'm sorry. I am. But I'm gonna need you to help me find whoever did this. So you need to try and remember anything that could possibly help us.
Fucking Georgie.
Fucking cops, man. You're always telling something traumatic happens to someone, and cops are always like, "Yeah, sorry, that's real sad, but can you answer some questions for me?"
Lawrence,
Do you?
Are you expecting anyone?
I'll see who it is.
No, wait. We need to know why whoever's out there is breaking in.
Thank you guys for being supportive of my snacking.
Just play dead.
What?
Trust me. You can't move in your condition anyway, so just stay still. The second we figure out what they're here for, Bigby will arrest them. Think about your wife.
Give me back the gun. Just in case.
Snacks are very important, it's true. Especially for long streams. Oh shit.
I don't know who that is.
Hey!
Oh shit.
Stay here.
No!
Hey! Stop! Leave me alone!
QTEs. QTEs.
Oh my god.
You know, I thought I'd heard that this had a satirical tone, which it doesn't really, so far. He almost gave you the slip. Oh, you thought Toad's British was bad? You just wait. Oh god.
Hey! Ease up, Bigby. We're on the same side here. You son of a bitch. Make me run after you. Who are you? What? Who are you?
Listen, man. I'm a private investigator. You're looking for the woodsman, right? My employer is looking to ask him a few questions too.
Who's your employer?
I can't tell you that. It's confidential. Sorry. Sure you understand.
Nope. Can't say that I do. Come on. You're coming with me.
This could have been easy.
Don't worry. It still is. Come on.
Dumb.
Dumb? Yeah, it is. Look, it'd be much easier for you
No, I'm D. He's dumb.
Right. Is Alice in Wonderland reference, presumably,
He
which
almost looked peaceful.
is always funny, because it's not exactly a fairy tale.
Yep.
Except you're lying in a dirty alley.
Yep.
With an open wound on the back of your head.
Yep.
Like, it's got Fairy Tale vibes, but...
What happened?
Well, the one guy hit you, then the other one started kicking you.
Explains the ribs.
Then they jumped into a car and drove off. Come on, get up. We should check in on Toad. See if there's anything there that can get us back on the trail.
The woodsman's apartment.
And we ended up going out the window, and I landed on Toad's car.
You guys made a real mess.
Yeah. It looks worse than a day.
I don't think anybody's here.
We came all this way for nothing.
All right, son. All right, he's gone. He's left. It's over now.
The woodsman being a fallen hero whose whole thing was about, like, protecting Little
that
Red
Sara?
is also something in that theme. I don't know.
Be nice in there, okay?
I'm also against heterosexuality between these two. Let the record show.
Bigby! And Miss White! Surely you didn't come all this way just for my bother? Sorry, Bigby. It's embarrassing to have to admit, but I thought there was someone else in Woody's place. There wasn't, though. Not when I checked. Nothing but a leaky drain pipe. Imagination must have got the best of me. So, you know, false alarm. Sorry for dragging Miss White into this, but thanks for coming. Much appreciated.
We heard someone crying.
Oh, the boy stubbed his toe on the bed frame is all. It stings, you know, but it's nothing to kick up a fuss about. A little tub swim, he'll be right as rain, I'm sure.
Okay, initially I was like, he's friend-shaped, and now that I know he's a landlord, I'm like, he's enemy-shaped.
Is your son in there?
He's fine, Miss White. Just stung his little toe. Better swimmer than walker, just like his dad.
Wanna...
So, I guess you'll be taking off now. No need to hang around here anymore. I mean, I'm sorry you came all the way here for nothing. But it was nothing, really.
This is for your own safety, Toad. You called us, remember?
Yeah, I know, and I appreciate it, mate, but...
It's fine. Relax. We'll be out of here in a minute. I just want to check things out first.
All right. I just don't want to waste your time, is all. Have a seat. Have a cup of tea. Whatever you like.
Have a cup of tea.
TJ? Are you alright? There you are. I don't mean to intrude, but Flycatcher said you had a pretty awesome insect collection. And I was wondering if you could perhaps let me see it?
He's a little cutie.
It has a weevil.
Cool.
Is that also Melissa Hutchinson? Because it sounded like Clementine.
Mind your postery while you're looking for nothing.
Yeah, sure thing. How'd this happen?
Fucking hell. Damn thing must have fell off the table.
Uh-huh. The lamp just fell off the table.
Well, the boy was faffing about, playing salts and saltfish. Who knows with the lad?
I'm gonna give TJ a hug. Yeah, he's a little cutie, and also his father is a menace. Although it should be said that I am a police officer without a warrant, looking around someone's home right now, and Toad is behaving suspiciously, but police officers should not do that, and if they ever try to do that to you, then you just don't need to let them into your home.
Bleeding?
No warrant, then
Right,
kick them out. Don't let them
fresh.
inside.
Oh, well, I cut me hand. Ran around like a tit trying to pick out a wrap. Must have got some on the furnishments. Lamp in pieces, blood on the wall. It's awful, I know.
Sounds painful.
Oi, don't you go mother-henning now. The wound didn't sit very long, you know. Perks of being a fable, I suppose. And a frog.
No probable cause, and he's told you in no uncertain terms he doesn't want you here. Yeah, also, like, the idea of probable cause is, in the context of, like, searching a home as well, like, the officers will often try and coerce people into letting them into their homes without a warrant, coerce or manipulate you in some way, but, period, do not let them in. Like, if you do not see that warrant, if they do not have that warrant with them, do not let them in. Period, under no circumstances. And they might talk about, like, probable cause, blah blah blah, try to intimidate people, but the law is that they cannot enter your home without, like, a warrant. Scratch marks?
What is it now? If it's blood, you know what happened.
No, there's marks here on the windowsill. And what's that about?
No real reason. Just last night, when I'd come out, I was in a downright tizzy, mate, as you would be. And I plumb forgot the keys to this place.
I was in a downright
and I had to climb
tizzy.
in through the bloody window.
Really?
I plumb forgot the
Guarantee you're
keys.
off to death.
And what happened here?
The poker? What?
Covered in blood, mate.
More blood on the tip. Did this happen before or after you came in the window?
After. I was poking the coals and it slipped a bit. Sliced up in my foot like a seashell. Looked like a shit ugly thing. If you're gonna say something, out with it.
Wait, you dropped it on your foot? You told me before that you cut your hand.
Yeah, no, I did cut my hand. I cut my hand first, and that made me drop the damn thing on my foot. Ruinous flip of events, really.
You caught Toad in a lie.
Oh my God, will you not make a big faff out of this? There's nothing to solve here, Sheriff. I'm telling you everything that happened. Why don't you believe me?
Someone from my mum's
things happen.
activist group got visited by the cops because of what they were posting about Palestine on social media, but they were just like, do you have a warrant? No? Okay, bye, and straight up shut the door on them, which is what you should do. Yeah, absolutely. Queen shit indeed.
No crime in a little accident.
This apartment's a goddamn mess, Toad. Looks like after a struggle or a fight. And I don't know why you'd cover for it, but I know you're lying about something.
But I'm not.
And you're just gonna make it worse for yourself the longer you keep up the act.
I'm not bullshitting you. Honest.
We'll see.
That more blood?
No, just a clean space in the dust. Did you move something?
Maybe one of Junior's toys or something. I mean, who knows? Bloody hell, Bigby. What sinister bit have you uncovered this time? I left the tap water running, didn't stop the recycling. What's the point of all this, mate? Really?
That broken lamp used to be here, right? Just tell me what happened.
Nothing happened, mate. Nothing! And why did the lamp have to be there, of all the blooming pointless inquiries? It's my own place. Don't you think I know what happens in it?
Because the lamp was always over here, Toad. It was over here, and now it's there. The space in the dust is from where you moved
I
it.
did some refiguring.
You caught Toad in a lie.
Bloody hell, mate. Come on, get off with this.
Though most people think they are.
That's definitely Melissa Hutchinson.
How's it going?
Toad's hiding something, but I don't know what yet. Did the kid say anything?
No, but I'm worried. He has 2 huge bruises on his arms.
Oh.
He won't tell me why, and he acted nervous when I brought it up. Something's going on.
Stay with the kid until I figure out what.
Okay. Telling some right porcupines, this gent. Yes, he is. What am I missing? Okay, this little portrait is really cute though. These little froggy portraits are adorable. Also, someone is really into fucking racing cars. There's a bunch of, I don't know what you call that part. That's not the tire. I don't know what you call that part of the wheel. And then also the posters. Anyway. Hubcap. Thanks, Cos. I don't know shit about cars. Busted latch.
And why's the lock busted?
Eh?
The lock. It looks like somebody kicked in the door.
A spot of dust and a broken lock. What are you getting at, mate? For Christ's sakes, a fucking lock's been busted for weeks, mate. Right, it's just like everything else in this bloody building.
Sorry, I just can't take him seriously when he speaks. It's really funny to me.
Why'd you climb in through the window then?
Huh?
Why'd you climb in through
You
the
caught
window?
Toad in a
You said it
lie.
yourself. The lock's been rotten for weeks. You wouldn't have needed a key to get in.
Fucking hell. Just what are you on about, mate? After the state I was in, I didn't have me head, that's all it was. I forgot the fucking handle was fucking busted. And I'll tell you what else. It's embarrassing you bringing all this shit up, alright? So quit it with a 3rd degree and all that. Bigby, come on, I'm begging for mercy over here, old boy. I was looking forward to a nice afternoon, just me and me son, and you've taken up enough of a day with all this sniffing around at me private belongings. I'm sorry I called, really I am. But will you please just bugger off?
Not yet.
Not yet? No one fought anyone, Bigby. There wasn't any scrap. So when? When are you gonna leave?
I like Toad's
I
coat.
feel like I'm on
It is a
trial
good
here.
coat.
In my own bloody home. It's not seemly.
When you start telling me the truth, Toad.
Well, I've told you the truth, mate. Jesus Christ, what more do you want?
You lied, Toad.
I broke the lamp. I forgot my keys, so I climbed the sill. There's no more story to tell, mate.
Toad, these stories have made no sense. You didn't cut yourself on the poker. You didn't forget your keys. You didn't bump the lamp off the table. You want to tell me what's going on?
She doesn't think much of me, I don't think.
Oh, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Progress?
He's so small. I love him.
Mr. Toad, you're bleeding.
Oh, crap.
Take off the hat.
It was that butcher, a Tweedle, Dum or D. You gotta strip them down to their johnnies before you can tell which is which.
Why?
They come bulging in, screaming about something the woodsman had. Or thought he had, I don't know. He tore up the place, beat me up when I said I didn't have it. And if you had come in when I asked you to, maybe he wouldn't have had the nerve to strong-arm me boy.
He hurt Toad Jr. How awful.
What the hell does he care? It's always the same with you, isn't it, Big B? If I'm in trouble, need help, if I call about something, you always take a livelong day to get here. What if he done something worse, eh? I'm tired of feeling trivial, mate. A lot of us are.
We're sorry, TJ. Really. We were lucky it didn't go any further.
What was he looking for?
I have no idea. I would have told you. I wanted to, really, I did. But he said if word of this ever got back to him, if he ever thought you knew, or Miss White, he'd come back and kill my boy.
Okay, so I guess Tweedledum and
When you tried to
Tweedledee
get
are
back to the
evil?
coat, you wouldn't take it.
Whose coat?
The girl.
Dad borrows things from people who live here. Sometimes.
Borrows?
I don't steal nothing. Turn around here would astonish you, mate. I merely repossess what's been left
Someone...
behind.
Well, we'll be taking the coat now. If she has next of kin, family, anyone.
Someone needs to be doing fan art of TJ as Clementine from The Walking Dead.
Alright. Fetch him the fur.
Like, with Clem's hat and
Fine bit of dress it is.
outfit. Oh. Oh,
No, I wouldn't
God.
wear it
Okay.
outside.
Wait.
That's the donkey skin from the sad story about Faith.
It's an envelope.
Fucking hell, of course there is. For my luck, it's a map to some bloody doubloons.
It's addressed to Prince Lawrence. What do you want to do with it?
Don't make it a dilemma. Just open it.
Big B.
Doesn't seem right opening another man's mail. Let's try and give it to him.
Okay.
Well, it's been quite a surprising day for all of us, hasn't it? I'd see you out, but I'm afraid of dripping any more blood in the place.
I'm not really sure why he covered it up. Like, why wouldn't you just tell him that that's...
It was very nice talking to you,
Oh, I
TJ.
love you, TJ.
Thanks. See ya.
Oh, he's so small and so
And
cute.
don't worry about what happened earlier. Just feel better, okay?
And if you're looking for the woodsman, try down at the Trip Trap.
He would look the cutest in the little hat. Precious baby boy, TJ. Oh, I'm having a cigarette because it's been a hard day. It's been a hard
Does
day
it
on the
always go that
beat.
smoothly?
Not often.
So, split a cab?
Sure. I can only go to the Trip Trap for now anyway.
Not because of what Toad said.
Hopefully the woodsman's there. Or, I don't know, someone who will know where to find him. It's my best lead,
Our only lead, really.
when you put it that way.
I'm on the job. I'm working the beat. It's a tough case, and I gotta have my cigarette just to make it through the day.
Every time I think I'm getting a handle on what's going on, things just get more complicated. It feels like we're always a step behind.
The woodsman is the only lead we've got, and he was one of the last people to see Faith alive. Getting some answers out of him will start to clear things up.
I hope you're right. Bigby? Be honest with me. Who do you think did this? I know it's still early, but I just feel a step behind. It's an uncomfortable feeling.
I don't know. I don't know.
I can't tell if you don't know or just won't say.
I don't know. Well, my silence left her unsure because I am unsure. If I recall, there's a reason in the comics that he's constantly smoking cigarettes. I think it's just funny.
Thanks
I
for
wish
you.
there was... Sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's nothing. I just...
Come on, Snow, it's way too early to tell at this stage. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say, I don't know.
Today,
I don't have enough information.
fables that are struggling worse than I'd imagined. We pay so much attention to the residents of the woodlands. You forget there's a whole community out there to serve.
Damn, Snow is really being like, oh my god. Guys, we live in a society. We live in a society. There are people living in poverty, experiencing systemic oppression. You just live your life. You live your life and you don't even think about it, man. You don't even think about it. Can you believe that? Damn. Every day I wake up, I get my cup of coffee and I don't even think about it, man. And now I'm like, whoa, just round the corner, just down the street, just a block away, someone is living in poverty. That's some heavy shit, man. That's some heavy shit.
To have to turn to prostitution. I wish there was more we could do.
She's really, sorry, she's really white womaning right now. She's really white womaning right now.
This isn't how I thought it would be. But Crane runs things his own way.
You're doing your best. It's all anyone can do.
Obviously, you don't know what I do all day. Right now, I'm the gatekeeper, making sure none of these disenfranchised folks are, as he puts it, wasting his time.
Okay, so fuck the system. So quit your job.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
It's just a broken system. The fables who walk in through the back door like Bluebeard, we have all the time in the world for them.
Quick moment to say that it's a broken system is always it's not a useful way to think about things. It's not a useful way to think about the world that we live in, the systems and the structures and the institutions that we live in. I always forget the name of the guy who says this, so I'm gonna Google it right now, but the phrase that I repeat all the time is, the purpose of a system is what it does. I'm looking up who came up with this right now. Okay, the purpose of a system is what it does. So when we say that something is a failed system, a broken system, blah, 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 policing is a broken system, prisons are a broken system, the government is a broken system. No. The reason why that's not a productive way of thinking about things is because these systems are designed to create harm. It's not that they're designed to or are capable of doing good and they're just failing at doing that. The purpose of a system is what it does. If what prisons do is they incarcerate people, they create more harm, they put people in cages, they create slave labor, they create profit for big business, that's what the purpose of prisons is. It disappears, like, racialized people from society, criminalizes poverty. If that's what prisons do, that's what the purpose of prisons is, right? So that's the whole idea behind this. The purpose of a system is what it does. The guy who coined this is Stafford Beer, and he basically says there's no point in claiming that the purpose of a system is to do what it constantly fails to do. And I find this to be like a really helpful way of thinking about these things. But you'll often find this kind of refrain in media like this, with this kind of tone where it's like, whoa, the system is broken. But I know that it might just seem semantic, but it's actually, like, it runs a lot deeper than that, so...
You try and come in through the front door, through the proper channels, asking for anything, needing help. Well, I turn you away. Now things are worse off than they've ever
Quit your
been.
job!
Well, that's not true.
Right. We've had it worse, but not by much. Maybe this isn't for me.
She really forgot poor people existed. Yeah, she did. Yeah, that phrase rewired my brain. Yeah, as it should. As it should. It's really helpful.
I thought public service
Yeah,
was
leave.
pure.
Leave.
A way to help.
You should get out of there. If it's as bad as you say it is, maybe there are better ways to get things done outside of the system.
It's something I have to consider.
Leave.
Never took you for a quitter.
We're not talking about
No,
me.
but you also leave your job. Both of you quit. Both of you quit.
Maybe you should handle this one.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Bigby.
3 apples, the new Broadway hit.
Just be careful, please.
The same goes for you.
I will.
Okay, let me check up on the Book of Fables real quick, because we've got a few more. Prince Lawrence, Faith's husband. Ugh. After escaping the homelands, Prince Lawrence and his wife Faith immediately fell victim to the harsh realities of the mundane world. They moved to New York hoping to find aid in a community of fellow Fables, but without enough money to live in Fabletown, they had to settle on an apartment on the outskirts of the neighborhood. Unfortunately, that meant they were out of sight and out of mind when it came to government assistance. Interesting. Their prospects dwindling, Faith left Lawrence to try to make it on her own. Now, without his wife to support, Lawrence struggles to motivate himself and quickly sinks into depression. Interesting. There's a lot going on here. I think it's quite interesting as well when you're thinking about, like, princes and princesses in the kind of fairy tale universes, like, suddenly experiencing, like, impoverishment and criminalization under capitalism in, like, an urban center. It's quite interesting. Oh, for a second, I swear I could hear the Walking Dead theme music starting, but no. You mean the Clementine's theme from, like, the Walking Dead game? I love that Fables immediately moved moved to New York and immediately embraced capitalism. What's this? Money? I love it. Honestly, it makes sense for a lot of these fairy tale characters. It makes sense for certain characters. I don't know, they've made some quite interesting choices in terms of which ones are like the cops, the landlords, the, you know, blah blah blah. They've made some interesting choices. I'm gonna see where it goes. The Tweedle brothers, Dumb and Dee, are thugs for hire. They appear human, allowing them to carry out their contracts in the Mundy world without drawing suspicion. They're as inseparable as they are ruthless. That's hilarious. I think that we already read the Bluebeard one. Okay, great. We just have a few entries left for episode 1, I think. Faith, here we go. Donkey Skin Girl. Faith, otherwise known as the Donkey Skin Girl, made it through the exodus from the magical homelands with the clothes on her back, her husband, and nothing else. She was once a beautiful princess, happily married to Prince Lawrence of a neighboring kingdom. Her life should have had a happy ending, but the mundane city of New York wasn't kind to her or her marriage. With no money, Faith found herself turning tricks to make the rent for a cheap apartment on the outskirts of Fabletown. She had a difficult life, but she did what she could to survive in an unfamiliar world. Yeah, Faith being this kind of like tragic figure who like experiences obviously this like horrible like, you know, basically sexual abuse from her father, and then kind of like escapes that with her husband in the classic fairy tale fashion as well, of like a man saving a damsel in distress being part of that as well. And then her happy ending is that she becomes a princess, but then she becomes impoverished like in the kind of urban capital of New York, and starts doing sex work to support her husband while her husband sinks into depression. There's a lot going on in this game in terms of like the heterosexual relationships and the gender dynamics in them. Because like no one is, I'm not trying to like blame Lawrence for being depressed, but there's a certain nuance to the fact that some men will rely on their partner, usually like their woman partner, for like everything, and not try enough. I don't want to make those kind of like jumps or assumptions, but it is kind of jumping out to me because I mean, what she went through was fucking horrible. Wouldn't she be depressed as well? But she has to like work to for them both to survive, and then yeah. Anyway, there's a lot going on. It's really, really, truly, there's a lot going on. I was just thinking that it's interesting that he's not sought out employment of his own. Yeah, and then also when she leaves him, he just kind of like stops being a person. I don't know. There's something going on there. So what are the trophies? Right, chapter 1, episode 1. Okay, great. I think we're nearing the end of episode 1, and actually I think I'm only gonna have time for episode 1 tonight because I probably shouldn't stay up too late. Tragic. The Trip Trap Bar, the Bronx.
What do you want, Sheriff?
Yeah, appropriate reaction to seeing a cop.
I'm looking for the woodsman.
Well, he's not here. So I guess you can go now.
Look, I'm not even gonna ask where he is now, okay? I just want to know the last time he was here. That's all.
Who?
I'm being nice, so try again.
He hasn't been here for a few weeks.
Not coercive at all, Big B.
No, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he hasn't been here in a while, if he's been here at all, which... I don't know.
She also doesn't have to answer his questions.
I'd just like some help, and I'll be out of here.
Well, I'd be willing to help you out of here. Would that help?
Yeah, touche. It's like, this is part of the thing about playing a cop, is that I'm like, being a cop means that it doesn't matter how nice I try to be, I'm the worst person on earth. So, if someone is mean to me, I'm like, yeah, I deserve it, because I'm a cop.
Damn.
A lot of stools in this place.
But there's only one right next to you.
You gonna order something? Or you just here to bother my customers?
Yeah, fair enough. Call him out for being a menace to society.
You know what I mean.
We reserve the right to
me a
refuse
Midas
service to anyone.
You want a line?
Interesting.
Sure.
I think they have some at the bar down the street.
Think that's funny?
Yep. Think it's fucking hilarious.
It was all right. Come on, guys. I don't want to be here. You don't want me here. The sooner you answer my questions, the sooner I'll be out of your...
Restroom is for regulars and employees only. Tough shit. Restrooms being only for customers and employees is something that pisses me the fuck off. Like, people need to
Ollie, you're out of
piss.
paper towels in
You
the-
should not have to pay to be able to piss.
Number one or number two? For your sake, I hope it was two. Otherwise, you're probably shitting your pants right now.
You and me been going at it for hundreds of years. I'm through fighting.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know much about New York in the 80s. I know Manhattan's the posh bit, but I don't know if the Bronx is. Pretty sure the Bronx is poor. I feel like I've heard that before. The bar doesn't seem to be the most salubrious establishment at any rate. Wow. That's a word that I don't hear very often. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, so I don't want to say either way, but makes me wonder how they're going to handle Bigby in the sequel, and how much will the comics and the writers affect it. Yes, it's interesting. I'm not like a huge comics reader, which is an interesting thing because, like, obviously so many of the Telltale games are based on comics. So I don't know what the vibe of the comics is, but like if part of the whole thing is that Bigby is a cop, it's quite interesting, because something that's really interesting about the Telltale's The Walking Dead is that, like, in the Walking Dead main story, like in the comics and the TV show, which I have seen the TV show, and I've almost finished Fear the Walking Dead. And I've seen Let's Plays of some of the other Walking Dead games, and like blah blah blah. All of this mostly for the sake of the video essay that I'm working on about The Walking Dead, because a lot of this content is just not very good. But the game tells like a very different story about a completely different character, and it's almost entirely like original, and the characters are original almost entirely. Which is part of the reason why it like works so well, and it's like especially the first season is like the opposite of propaganda. It has such a different vibe politically. So I'd be interested to know what the vibe of the comics is like comparatively. And yeah, I know that there's been a sequel in development, but then Telltale, of course, went bankrupt. And then Telltale Games was revived somehow, but I don't know the details exactly of that, and now The Wolf Among Us 2 is back in development, but I don't really know what's going on with that. Are Deck 9 handling the sequel? I know they helped make The Expanse. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'd be interested to know, though. Yeah, for real. Like, what do you mean I need to order a coffee I don't need in order to piss? It's fucked up. I mean, I know that in one of my Walking Dead streams we talked about how it's fucked up that in schools you have to, like, wait to go piss. You're not allowed to just go piss whenever you want. It's really fucked up because it's like a way that the institution kind of like enforces control over our bodies, but it also has long-term health effects. Like you can develop a UTI from like not peeing when you need to, and not being able to pee in public space, like that being policed to the point that you need to pay to pee, is pretty much as fucked up as needing to pay to drink water in public space. It's like that is a basic bodily function that you need to do. It is completely fucked up to have to pay money to do those things, and I think it's insane that people like normalize that like, oh, it's okay to have like a establishment where you only let people use the toilet if they're paying customers. That is fucked up. It's fucked up. If you were ever interested in the Walking Dead comics, there's this YouTube channel called Psycho Cat Studios that does comic dubs for the series. I might check that out because it's like I'm fine with reading comics, but I just prefer to read physical editions, and I don't want to buy the Walking Dead comics because there are so many, and I don't even think that I will particularly like them. But as part of like the research for the video essay, I like to have like as thorough knowledge as possible about the thing that I'm talking about, at least to you you can never know everything about everything, but like just to the point of like it being a well-researched essay, that's important to me. So that's part of the reason why like consuming a lot of Walking Dead content has felt like important, in order to kind of like do an analysis of the game like justice. But that kind of sounds like something I could get into. The Fables comic is less Bigby-centric. It's more an ensemble story focusing on a bunch of the fables and about the history of the Exodus and that sort of thing. Less mystery, more urban fantasy. Huh, that's interesting. And Faye is saying, I heard that Deck 9 was supposed to help out with The Wolf Among Us 2. Huh, really interesting. I mean, we all have fucking feelings about Deck 9 right now, so...
Well, Woody, that makes two of us. You're in luck. I decided to switch seats. I just want to talk. This doesn't have to go like this.
Maybe he don't want to talk to you.
Why don't we let him tell me that?
He really did survive like an axe in his head and just being swiveled around a bit in his head.
It's funny. Just a minute ago, no one seemed to know who you were.
Yeah, well, everyone knows you. Big bad wolf. Now I'm the bad guy and you're sheriff. What kind of fucking world is that, huh?
Come on, Woody. Why'd you do it? No bullshit.
Same reason people do a lot of awful things. For money. I'd walk past her place for weeks. She didn't look like it. She had money. I was sure of it. She wouldn't put up any kind of fight.
Sorry, it just occurred to me. I want to take a second to say that it's quite interesting because of what he was saying about, like, oh, like, now I'm the bad guy and you're the sheriff, and, like, a lot of the stuff that we've been reading and experiencing through the game and, like, reading in the Book of Fables is about how, like, in the fairy tales they have certain, like, social positions and roles, and that's something that has changed within another socio-political context. They're like roles and positions in society have changed, like in terms of like class dynamics in particular, but there's also, you know, other elements as well. And it's making me think that there's something to be said about like not just like, oh, you know, the big bad wolf used to be evil and now he's trying to be good, and that's why he's a sheriff, because sheriffs are good. Because you could read it that way and then be like, oh, well, that's, you know, propaganda. And it is still propaganda, because like it's still propaganda when it's like a rugged, well-meaning but kind of rugged cop who sometimes does morally questionable things, but it's all for the good of like the pursuit of truth and justice. That's still propaganda. But there's something to be said about, like, you know, maybe cops and sheriffs are the baddies. They're the big bad wolf. They're the thing everybody is afraid of. And there's a reason why, because they eat people and hurt people and stuff like that. And it also kind of shows, I guess, the constructedness of, like, criminality. Like how these are kind of like social positions that like change within certain contexts. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but those are just some thoughts that I'm having based on what he was saying about kind of like, I guess, like social roles and narrative roles, and how those are supposed to be kind of like changed or subverted within the context of this like shift from one world and one like kind of narrative into another.
I was gonna rob her, and the night I finally get up the nerve to do it, there you are, fucking things up for me. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't there to save her.
So, you were planning on robbing her?
Yeah, her and her grandma.
Grandma? Wait, what are you talking about?
Red Riding Hood, her grandmother. I was there to rob them. But when I showed up, you were already there, lying in the bed. I only saved her because I thought she might give me a reward. But she didn't give me shit. Except a bunch of people thinking I'm something I ain't. I played along as I could. Only thing I managed to get from it was a free drink every now and again. Not a good that did.
I already know this story, Woody.
You should. You were there.
I'm not talking about Red Riding Hood. I'm here about Faith. She was murdered.
What? Faith? Who's that?
The girl you were beaten on this morning.
No. I was here. I swear.
It doesn't look good when a girl you were just smacking around shows up dead hours later.
She's dead? Bigby, listen, I'm a piece of shit, okay? I know that. I hit that girl, I did. I shouldn't have, but I didn't kill her. You believe me, right? They're gonna string me up, Bigby. Like You said it looks fucking bad. It looks really bad, but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
He was here.
I don't think he did it.
That's the fucking truth, Sheriff.
You see? Bigby, please. You can't. They'll throw me down the witching well. That's what they'll do. And I didn't do it. You know that.
Haha, glass him. Totally reasonable. I know, right?
Stop! This isn't what I want.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Woody! Shit ain't just about you. It's about this fucking lapdog. Only comes sniffing around this part of town when the rich fucks in the woodlands need a shakedown. Ain't that right, Bigby?
It's not like that. There are problems with the way things go, I get it. But that's got nothing to do with what's happening right now.
Holly's sister goes missing. No one gives two shits about her. Paperwork, waiting rooms, and that bitch Snow White looking right past me, then ushering me out the fucking door.
I wouldn't call her that. It's happened before, and it doesn't end well.
Oh, because he's a knight in the shining armor.
Oh,
He just hates it when women are being attacked.
Should have walked out of here when you had the chance.
come on. You're scaring the lady.
Don't worry about me.
Shit. Like punching a brick fucking wall, huh? I mean, I guess that's your one sexy lady monster, Lost in Fairy. We finally got a sexy lady monster. He's going wolf. He's going Super Saiyan. He just turns like kind of wolfy. He doesn't even turn into like a big actual wolf.
He's had enough.
All this property damage could have been avoided, man. Yeah. Yeah, it could have.
Whiskey. Double.
Okay, you don't break her glass for no reason. Come on. Yeah, he's just a bit hairier. For real. Come on, turn into an actual wolf.
Shit.
It's not like you were gonna pay for it anyway.
I already gave my money to Faith.
Don't even think about it.
Shit.
Is this the type of treatment I can expect if I let you take me in?
Well, to be fair, he attacked me first.
Hey, he started it.
If you notice the seam on the guy's arm when he became a monster, that's kind of a Hannah Montana design.
Tell me something about a girl named
Slay.
Fuck.
Right, so it's gonna make me make a major decision here, and it seems like the bad guy who's more implicated is actually the evil Tweedledum Tweedledees, so I'm gonna go after them. Leave the huntsman alone.
Fuck, man! That's not necessary!
Like, easy decision.
Shit.
He's the one you want, not me!
Your brother won't be saving you this time. Come on. You're under arrest.
I told you I didn't do it.
And you got nothing to worry about.
You're not you when you're hungry. Big B, have a whiskey. Well, Big B, have a snack. Because the whiskey will not help when you are so hungry that you turn into a werewolf. It's just gonna make things worse. Trust me. I know. I know from experience of when I get really hungry and then I turn into a werewolf.
Do anything stupid, and I'll throw you down the witching well myself.
Happens to the best of us. It's true, it's true. We need to learn more about this witching well they're all so scared of. Yes, indeed. Okay, this feels like something dramatic to close off the episode is about to happen. No!
We had something very special.
Where's your brother?
Fuck you! Give me one good reason I should tell you anything. Where's the rest of her?
Serial killer.
Oh my.
A serial killer? Oh God, it's one of us.
Wait, the woodsman's still walking the streets.
We've got to put a lid on this. If you can't manage it, I'll find
Not the bad bitch, I know.
I found out where she's been staying.
I know she's here. You must have seen her. What are the two of you hiding?
Thanks for not saying anything.
Doesn't matter. Maybe you just want to punish someone. We can arrange that.
What did you do?
Friend on friend. At the end of the end.
Jesus Christ, Bigby. Is that you?
Ooh, there we go. That's more wolf. Not the snow boss. Aw, I know she was white womaning a little bit, but I liked her. No. Not girl boss Snow White. How come most of them don't die except the women? I know! All of the women are dying! Something is happening. Something misogynistic is happening in Fabletown, or whatever it's called. Shook. Was not expecting Snow White to die. Shook. Okay, let's look at player choices. Did you give Faith your money? You and 84.5% of players gave Faith your money. Did you tell Beast the truth about Beauty? You and 59% of players lied and said that you hadn't seen Beauty. Where did you decide to go first? You and 30.8% of players went to see Prince Lawrence before helping Toad. What happened to Prince Lawrence? You prevented his death. Oh, okay. So because I went there first, I guess I prevented his death. Whereas if I went to see Toad first, then I would have prevented the attack. But I mean, at least everyone's alive. That means 41% of people are snitches. Yeah, you're right. Fucking snitches. And also, like, why wouldn't you take a woman's side in this situation? Like, especially Beauty's side in Beauty and the Beast. Why wouldn't you take her side? You know, do you hate women? Like, are you're a misogynist? Is that what you are? Okay. Who is your prime suspect? You and 26.8% of players didn't say anything to Snow, but 4% said Prince Lawrence, 17% said the Woodsman, 15% said Tweedledum and D, 22% said the Pimp, and 13% said Bluebeard. I think that's who the last two are. Who did you arrest? When it came down to the wire, you and 68.7% of players made sure Tweedledee didn't get away. Join the discussion now. I would not like to visit the official Wolf Among Us community pages at www.telltalegames.com because I've been reading some of those pages for The Walking Dead for my video essay, and I gotta tell you, those fans are crazy. And they really fucking hate women, so I don't even want to know what their takes on all of this are. Wow, okay, so that was episode 1 of The Wolf Among Us. I liked it. You know, there are certain things that I'm like umming and ahhing about in terms of like, you know, a political analysis and its take on certain themes, which I've been saying as we kind of go, but I'm interested to see where they go. I think that the art design of this is fantastic. I love the comic book style as always. I think that the colors and the lighting are gorgeous. And the animation is looking fresh and crisp and awesome. I'm liking the murder mystery vibe. I love a little mystery. Obviously, it's always a bit annoying when it's propaganda, and I wish that there was more of a way around that, like when you're a teenage girl investigating something, you know, Max Caulfield in the first Life is Strange, Nancy Drew, Nancy Drew is kind of in with the police, isn't she, so never mind. But it is what it is, and I'm compelled by the murder mystery vibe. I think that the world building of the Fables universe and the narrative are definitely really interesting. Even if I'm like umming and ahhing about some things, it's giving us like a lot to talk about, a lot of food for thought, and the political themes are definitely very much there, even if they're not even if I don't necessarily know how they're being handled. Yeah. I think that some of the kind of like choice and dialogue gameplay when it's coming to the murder mystery stuff is like cool. I guess we'll see as the game goes on. I'm not necessarily feeling like super compelled by like big difficult decisions or anything like that at the moment. But it's interesting because having played Telltale's The Walking Dead all 4 seasons and then playing a couple of other Telltale games off of stream for now, something that I've kind of realized is that like that kind of choice model, and it's like the first and the final seasons are definitely the ones that do it the best. But I've been thinking so much about how, especially when I was playing like Telltale's Batman series, I was thinking so much about how how it works so well in The Walking Dead often, and I think I'm going to mention this a bit in my video essay, but it's like, you know how the characters are living in these material circumstances that are very much like poverty, houselessness, starvation, danger, precarity, and sometimes like exploitation and oppression and violence from other people. And I think that something that's so powerful about The Walking Dead is the way that playing these characters in these situations, especially when you're playing as Lee and Clementine, who are like racialized people who are experiencing certain types of racialized and gendered violence, a kind of gameplay that's oriented around like major decision making and ethical or moral like quandaries within those contexts is really powerful. Like, it's very emotionally and narratively powerful, but in some of these games or other stories it doesn't necessarily hit as well all the time. Like, sometimes it does, it kind of depends on how it's approached. So in a lot of like the Batman Telltale series, I was thinking, I don't really like Batman / Bruce Wayne is like the most powerful person in the world, so the moral or ethical like quandaries of his decisions are not really like, it just doesn't have the same stakes because like he's not like a marginalized person living in these incredibly precarious circumstances, and it's not like life or death for him, and it's just not as compelling. I think that the times in the Batman Telltale series where it works are very specific, and again, I'll potentially talk about that later in other videos. But when it is interesting, it's like actually exploring like the fact that you were playing a character that has power over other people in an interesting way. So I think that it can have like potential in that regard, but who knows. I guess for this one the pull is kind of like, you know, maybe the different decisions about like who you arrest or what you investigate will like have consequences about like what information you could find out, or like obviously Prince Lawrence could die if I hadn't selected that. So yeah, I guess that's a thing. I think that like when I was playing the episode, I definitely wasn't feeling that like, oh my god, this is such a hard decision, and like it's like morally or emotionally like genuinely difficult and challenging the way that I feel when I'm playing The Walking Dead. But I really think that it like stands out amongst other Telltale titles, like especially the first and the final seasons in that regard. So yeah, that's just something I'm thinking about in terms of like the choice and dialogue oriented gameplay. And then yeah, it's a Telltale game, so the combat is just like quick time events and stuff, so that's fine. That's what you expect when you're going into a Telltale game, really. Yeah, those are my thoughts at the moment. Those are my final thoughts, I think. Yeah, even having him be a private investigator would have been better than having him be an official cop type. Yeah, I mean, I think there's still like a lot of issues with PIs, so I don't necessarily know that would be tons better, but I think there are ways to do like murder mystery stuff where you're not doing that. But I think I think often what's so compelling about some of that, like the teen girl murder mysteries, is often that like as a teen girl you're actually like you have like a more personal stake in what's happening, like maybe as like a friend or a colleague or even a friend or a peer or even a lover of like a deceased person, usually another teenage girl. And also like teenage girls are like marginalized, so like the potential consequences, like definitely compared to men like Bigby, and so there's usually like more consequences and more in terms of that as well, because you kind of have to do it in secret and you have to like defy the police and defy the justice system in that way. I mean, that's part of what makes like teen girl murder mysteries, where you are a teenage girl investigating the murder mystery, not just a teenage girl has died and some police officer is investigating the mystery. But yeah, that's the whole thing. And when Charlotte has been playing Nancy Drew and Jenny LeClue and stuff, and we've been talking a lot about that. Yeah, I think that playing like a cop like this is always going to have certain like trappings in that regard.